Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, everybody, today? You guys
Hello,
up?
heyo.
Hey, there we go.
Good evening.
We're live.
Awesome. Excellent. We are here again. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 8 of Here on the Wastes. Again, this is our weekly RPG session that happens every Friday night here at 7 p.m. This game is based on the created and developed game called Horizons Unknown After Earth, which has been created and developed by myself. My name is Shogii. My real name is Scott. This game is a game that is set in the distant future of 2422 on the alien planet known as Soldaria. This is after the death. This is about 400 or so years after the death of Earth, where the last remnants of humanity have scattered across the universe, trying to find other habitable planets in order to survive. In this world of Soldaria, humanity is essentially caught up in an ongoing war with other humans, with Saldarians, who are the aliens of Saldaria itself, as well as artificial intelligence created by a program that was named the Eldar Priory, that was initially created and to help humanity to ensure that they would not make the same mistakes as they did on Earth. But unfortunately, they are in ongoing war with their machines, their constructs that they have made in order to try to clear out the last remnants of humanity itself. In this world, this is an outlawish wasteland society where we have our intrepid band of awesome adventurers. If you want to go around and just introduce yourselves, guys, quickly, I think they all know who you are. Starting with
Hey, I'm
Martin
Eli.
or Eli.
I'm
Eli just went
Burger.
through puberty on that one.
I'm Burger. Otis. Live on.
I'm Rand 118 playing Rev the Cyber Jackal.
Playing Rev 118.
Yeah, that's
Essentially,
only my friends can call me that.
ooh, there are no friends here, obviously.
Yes.
Just jumping right into our last episode, Rev was given the task of selling off their essentially their resources, their wares, their bounties that they had received, given to them by Mother. Rev went into town, sold off the Cerulean, and got a pretty strong bounty out of it. Got some good cash out of it. Where then he proceeded to be on grocery duty from the rest of his group to get whatever things that they needed, as well as get in contact with a gentleman known as Remo Hargrove. Remo was a contact from Old Mortimer, who stated that he'd be able to help them on their upcoming um, plans to try to get into Sandormo itself. With that, unfortunately, Rev mistook the call or wasn't aware exactly of who was trying to contact him and ended up hanging up on Remo.
Hey, he hung up on me.
Well,
I'll just.
that is true. That is true. Remo did hang up on him, um, but through a series of circumstances, they were able to meet again. Where Remo merely states that in order to continue on this conversation, that he wanted all three of you to meet him to talk business. With that, we're going to just jump right in. We left Skag and Otis going in the front door. One of the side entrances, just going to walk him in. Opening up, you guys see a very, again, bustling day that's going on in Cambaran itself. Lots of freighters coming in, lots of mercenaries filling the streets that are kind of going back and forth. It's probably, for all of you guys, it's probably somewhere around midday that you would kind of guess. During Hedron's day, it's really kind of hard to kind of really truly guess because it is 2 months of torrential sunlight during that time. So it's really kind of hard to to judge when a 24-hour cycles actually happen for you guys. But it's pretty much, it's bustling. It's just filled with a bunch of participants of different kinds of trading that is going on as well as groups that are seem to be getting together to go on some travels, as well as you're kind of like walking through. Rev tells you that you guys need to meet at the bar, Last Chance Bar, where you initially met Ridley. And with that, we'll open with that. What are you guys doing?
Happily going to the bar.
I'm not so happily. I'm kind of, kind of blocking vision of my face, I guess. I'm very anxious about that. I want to be.
Okay. Skag, you kind of get
go ahead.
notice of that as well, that he's making attempts to try to obscure his
Try to
his
be
face.
sneaky.
Yeah. as sneaky as Otis can be at this point.
So it's very obvious that it's him then. That's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, he's kind of doing like the Vogue.
He's just walking around like this. Don't look at me.
Rev is up. I'm up on the second level with Remo,
Mm-hmm.
looking down. I'm trying to look to get their attention, like,
Well, you
up
don't
here.
Yet,
I need
you
you
don't
guys.
see them walk in yet.
I don't see them.
They're
Okay.
still walking on the streets.
Okay.
As that's happening, you're up there with Remo himself, who's merely just sitting across from you. Again,
Right.
legs kind of elevated up onto the other chairs. He takes it kind of a drag out of his synth stick, which is the equivalent of a cigarette. He doesn't even kind of like look at you at all. Doesn't engage you in any kind of conversation. He's merely just kind of enjoying his moment
With himself.
with just being there. You really get the sense that he's been on a long journey and he's just kind of relaxing if he can, as much as he
Okay.
can.
Well, Rev's not really comfortable with this situation, so he's kind of, he doesn't fidget, but he's like nervously checking his surroundings at all time.
Okay, you're just kind of getting just watching all the angles. Pretty
Yeah,
much, right?
checking out his thugs, make sure nobody's
Right.
sneaking up on me with an axe or something.
Yeah, the two guys that you initially met, Rev, kind of give you a few glances, but then they kind of just go on. One of the waitresses kind of comes up, brings them food, and immediately when that happens, they're much more preoccupied about eating. The waitress also brings another drink for Remo. With that, once he puts it down, he tosses you a glance. He just goes, "Would you like anything?"
Just water.
He kind of nods to the girl. The girl nods back. Here's your request, and she leaves. He just goes, when your other compatriots get here, we'll talk business. Is that fair enough?
Understood.
As that happens, you see him kind of pull up his sleeve, and he's wearing a sidekick. But his sidekick seems to be much more advanced, much more decked out than yours. And with that, you see him kind of like scrolling and looking, kind of nodding. And then he even kind of like blows it up, and it becomes almost like a 3D holographic image that kind of floats above his. And what you see is essentially data files and data logs that he's swiping through. And quickly, because your cybernetic eyes will be able to pick it up, you see him stop at a easy picture of Skag, and he swipes again, kind of takes a look at it really quick, swipes again, and you see a picture of yourself. He kind of scrolls, takes a look, swipes, and you see a picture of Otis. And immediately when Otis's comes up, he takes a look and he just closes it and goes back and takes a drag and takes a sip. As that's happened, Otis and Skag is kind of leading you and guiding you towards the bar.
So is it just me and Skag, or is there one of his guys with us or something?
Nope. They're
No, it's
not
just
up
us.
there with you. It's
Just
just
oh,
you
that's
two.
right. He contacted us with
Yeah,
the things.
exactly.
Okay.
You guys walk into the Last Chance Bar. It is filled with tons of patrons, gambling in the corner. A lot of guys are taking drinks. As you kind of walk in, a couple guys take a quick look at obviously, to take a look at the people who are walking in. The doors kind of like open up. Zzz. Again, the nice little vacuum sound of mechanical doors as you kind of walk in. They take one kind of glance at you and Skag, and they go back to their business. Nothing. But Skag, roll awareness if you can, please.
I rolled a 15.
Skag, you notice that there are a few lingering looks at you guys that you would think that the other guys are just kind of like quick glances. It's easy, doors open, just kind of want to see who's there. There's a few extra lingering glances as you guys kind of like make your way within it. Obviously trying to figure out where Rev is. Rev, at this point, you are kind of like watching the door. You're watching kind of everything. You see Skag and Otis walk in from the second story landing.
Okay, I tell Reno, Remo, yeah, my two friends have just entered. Should I get their attention?
He merely kind of gives you a glance, and he looks down, and he just goes, "Those two?"
And yeah, I make sure he's looking at Skag and Otis. He saw their picture, and I say, yeah, you know it.
And he goes, "Yeah, invite them up, please."
So I get on my psychic and I go, Otis, Skag, we're upstairs. Look up and to your left. You'll see us on the landing.
I'm gonna mosey up there, but when I get into the room, I'm gonna take a and then kind of broaden myself up and bring myself to.
Okay. As Skag, you see this as well as you kind of like make your way up to the second story landing.
I want to hit Otis on the back so that all that huffing puffing immediately goes away.
Expelled.
That's fine.
Okay. You both
Just walk on
again,
in.
as you kind of see, you're up on the second story landing. Everything down below is pretty much filled on the main floor. This is a packed place. But you do notice that there's a lot of room on the second story landing as well, as you did notice this, Rev. And there's nobody else up here except for Remo. It's almost that this is kind of his space, or he has a little pull to kind of like have his own way with this place. You two both notice that there are two essentially guards there who are sitting there eating. They kind of give you a glance. The two guys look back towards you, Rev, just to say, "Are these guys good?" You get that kind of look. Should we let them pass?
The guards to me, they're checking with me. Okay.
As if like
So,
these are your guys.
yeah. I look at them, I go, they're with me.
Oh boy.
The main guy who initially had talked to you in the beginning just kind of gives a glance, back, and he just goes, "Take a seat, gentlemen."
VIP lounge here.
So I picture Remo. He's still smoking that the synth cigarette or whatever.
Remo has not turned around. He's got his back towards you,
Oh,
legs
okay.
up, and he's just merely kind of drinking. You can see Rev, who's obviously facing opposite. He's looking there your way. Remo's looking the other way.
I'm just gonna head towards them. And is there an empty seat? If there's an empty seat, I'll sit in it. But if not,
there are extra seats that are set there.
I'm just gonna plop down in the chair. Plop.
Okay. Skag.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk into a chair and not say anything, just sit down.
Okay. As you both sit down, again, when you see Remo, he's probably a gentleman that's probably in his late 40s. Well-kept mustache, the salt and pepper slick back hair. He's wearing this white dappered suit with this very like long coat with like high bridged collars. You notice that propped up next to him that's on the railing is a cane, and he's merely again taking a drag from the synth stick, takes another drink of whatever he was drinking currently, looks at both of you gentlemen, he just goes, "Would you guys like anything to drink?"
I'm gonna pound on the table and say, "The biggest one you have."
That's fair enough.
I have a particular appetite for one particular type of booze.
He,
Wasteland ale, right? Fuel. Oh, fuel.
oh, wasteland fuel, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And he goes, you understand that that's not sold anywhere, correct?
Uh huh. I do. But I also know that there's ways to get it.
Mm. He kind of like looks at you, looks to Rev, and he goes, I think that your friend here is already tried to make that transaction.
Oh, well then what's the holdup?
We were just waiting for you two to arrive.
Oh, good thing we got here. So what's the deal?
Well, I think it goes a little bit more than that, don't you think? Your friend here says that you're friends
the other
with
thing.
Mortimer.
Yes, the other thing. That's right.
Yes, we know Mortimer.
Yeah.
I like
Morty.
kind of elbow both the guys. Right? We know that. We know him.
Uh huh.
This Skag just kind of goes,
Sweet guy.
yes, that's sweet. Great bacon.
Great bacon. Weird mech suit. Good cook.
At that point, the girl comes up. The waitress again brings him another drink, brings you your water. The girl, he kind of like motions to go ahead and take these gentlemen's order. What exactly are you ordering, Skag?
Just the biggest of whatever they have.
Okay. They have.
It's on the items list.
Yeah, it's
if
on
you
the
wanna
items list.
help them out.
They have Fireshine, Moon Brew, Saldarian Frost, Grey Ale Brew. If you're kind of looking for a ale score
Yeah,
of
I'll do
whiskey,
that.
okay.
I'll do the ale. I love ales.
She goes perfect. She goes, I'll make sure I get you the largest one. She looks to you.
One
Otis,
wasteland fuel.
and she just goes, sorry, we don't sell that.
Oh, then I don't want anything. And I'm gonna pull a piece of jerky out of my belt, just toss it in my mouth.
Okay. With that, she just merely nods to you, Skag, and
Thank you. Though.
as to say that she'll be right back with that drink. When she does leave, Remo looks back at all three of you, and he says, "Now, you seem to have a bit of a dilemma here. It seems. Is this true? It's enough to require my help."
We need to get into a certain location that is supposedly not easy to get into.
For them.
Why?
Have you heard of Father,
Dr. Eli Houtzer?
also known as Dr. Eli Hauser?
He goes, I've never heard the term father, but I know who Dr. Eli Hauser is. He's a despicable human being.
We happen to know somebody who agrees with that sentiment, and in order to make them safe, we need to, how shall we say, silence.
Kill. We're gonna kill him.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Skag. We need to kill him.
He looks at Skag and he just goes, at least you're being upfront and honest. No beating around the bush.
Is my drink on your tab?
He goes, of course, it's on me.
Oh, what?
He looks at you and he just goes, you had your chance.
I sit forward a little more on the edge of my seat. A little.
He doesn't change his posture in any way. He still has this very relaxed kind of angle and position to him. But you do notice that his countenance seems to be much more stern. He's really trying to get a grasp on what the situation is here. And he goes, my question to you again is, why? To help someone?
I look to the other two guys and I say, do do we trust him enough to
He's one
say
of
who the
Marty's
officer?
guys. One of Marty's guys. Morty's guys.
What choice do we have? Plus, he's right. He's one of Marty's guys. Or is it Morty's? I'm confused too now.
Morty.
Okay, we have been hired by a woman who is wanted by father and
Dr.
some,
Eli.
yes, by Dr. Eli.
Mhm.
We have been hired by her to kill Dr. Eli Hauser because he is hunting them. And the only way we know to make her safe and the people she protects safe is to remove the source.
And what better way to instigate drama than to hurt somebody from the faction of what's this, Mavis Falcorn, and I can turn him against somebody.
He looks at you. He gives a glance across all three of you, and he just goes, "I'm confused, gentlemen. Why are you wasting your time as well as your effort on this supposed woman? A gun reaver, essentially a mercenary, a cyberjackal, and Otis Dirtbanger. Yes, I know who you are. You're a
Of course you
wanted
do.
man. Why would you waste your time? You should be hiding."
Well, you
But I
said it
have-
yourself. I'm a gun reaver. I'm here to kill.
We were paid to do a job, and there are children's lives at stake. That's all that matters to me.
What does that matter to anyone? You're a cyberjackal. You don't get paid. You don't get paid to protect children. You get paid to do the job, to eliminate
Yeah.
assets, and to transfer and secure data information. You're not a hero.
You're right, I'm not a hero. But it doesn't take a hero to want to protect those who can't protect themselves.
He goes, "I'm to assume she's paying you well?"
You assume correctly.
He goes, "Okay. Now, with the business of wasteland fuel,
Yeah?
That's why we're here.
Uh-huh.
you gentlemen are talking to me about a plan to sneak in to Sandormo itself, to eliminate one of the higher officials, the Dr. Eli Hauser, head of research in genetics, in genes and geneticism, and genetics, and you want 20 gallons of wasteland fuel."
This is correct.
Each, right?
No, that was
No.
not the deal.
Oh, I thought, okay.
10
All
gallons
right,
each.
All right.
Maybe, Otis Dirtbanger, you'd be better off making your own deals if you don't seem to understand what exactly the transaction is being made.
You, as well as I know, I shouldn't be here.
I'm confused as to the reason why you're even still here.
Oh, to talk to you, bud. You required our presence.
Unfortunately, I did not know it was you.
You want me to leave? I'll walk out right now.
And you gentlemen want 20 gallons of wasteland fuel, which is relatively rare. And you can almost guarantee
It's
that
delicious.
you're only getting it off black market dealers as myself, where they could track it back to me. What do you intend to use the wasteland fuel for? And
I'm
with
gonna
that,
drink
he
it.
looks directly at you, Otis, and I'm talking to you.
I'm going to drink it, of course.
How are you going to transport 20 gallons of wasteland fuel?
How far away is Mortimer's house?
Yeah, I think I said it's almost like 20 miles.
Okay.
It's not too bad. I just don't know how gas is in this economy. You know, I don't know when our truck's gonna run out.
We do have a source of transportation.
Yeah.
We have a, what is it called? Not a hover trike, but
Motor track.
motor track. Yeah.
You have a motor track. You're going to transport 20 gallons of wasteland fuel out in the open?
Well, you know, put a cover
will
over
you
it.
hold it for me?
Why would I hold on to it for you?
Exactly. I gotta figure out some way or another to get this stuff.
Because do I look like your mother?
What?
Oh, that's right. Your mother's dead.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry about that.
Fucker.
Seems like you have a lot of concerns for a man whose whole business is black market. What's the
Hence
holdup
reason-
over
hence the
our
reason
wasteland
for
fuel?
Concerns.
You're more concerned over giving us wasteland fuel than you are with helping us kill someone who you said we shouldn't even bother with.
He doesn't wanna get
more
caught.
concerned that this is going to be tracked back to me, and they'll know where they got the wasteland fuel for. And forgive me when I tell you this. I doubt that you guys are going to drink 20 gallons of wasteland fuel.
Do you not see how big I am, buddy?
At that point, the girl
Look how
has
big
come
this
up
guy
and,
is.
and dropped like this really big mug of this blue liquid. This is like blue shimmering liquid right in front of you.
I want to grab it and just take like the biggest like chug in front of him.
Sure. He goes, you can understand. Your friend speaks of assurances. I can understand it and I can respect that, especially in the business that I deal in. But I want some assurances as well, or there is no deal.
What kind of assurances do you need to make this transaction happen?
That you will not use number one, you will not use the wasteland fuel to blow up anything inside the walls of San Dormo.
I thought you were
Okay, Sandormo? No.
Okay. I thought you also had a vested interest in removing Eli Hauser.
I have a vested interest in making sure that in the end the broken are destroyed, but they pay well still.
Sounds like you have a conflict of interest then.
Do I? The two
You're
guys,
selling.
the two
you're
guys
selling,
immediately turn. The two guard guys immediately kind of drop their forks and turn to you guys and start to reach.
I'm not gonna move.
I'm just gonna put my hand on my gun and look at him. One hand on my beer.
Rev is like, he's been in hyper, sense mode this whole
Sure.
time, and he says, if your goons don't remove their hands from their guns, there is no deal.
And he looks at you and he just goes, I'm not the one who's trying to sneak in. I'm not the one who's trying to buy 20 gallons of wasteland fuel. But I will tell you this. Let's see if we can make a deal based on faith. Let's see if we can trust one another. Is that fair enough?
What does a deal based on faith involve?
If you procure something for me, then whatever it is you require, I will give to you. You will have your 20 gallons of wasteland fuel.
Hmm.
And if you want, I'll even toss in an extra 10 gallons.
Am I
What do you
sitting
want?
next to
What
Otis?
do you want?
Yeah, you're right there, just having the drink.
Okay, well then as soon as he says it, I want to like nudge Otis like
Yeah.
and give him like a smile.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What is it you need us to acquire?
He goes, "Did
Because
Mortimer?"
I'm in.
Wow, oh, excellent. And he looks at both Skag and you. Skag,
Well,
your
let's hear more first.
roll Constitution.
Hold on, I have to reroll. Couldn't tell if it's a 4 or 14. I should have stuck with that. It's a 1 now. So
Okay. Yeah, that gray ale brew is hitting you big time now. You start to really feel like the effects. You start to feel a bit sleepy.
So should I just like slump it down a little bit?
It's up to you. I'm just saying you start to feel a bit sleepy and tired.
I'm still gonna keep my hand on my gun and my beer. I'm just gonna slump down a little more.
With that, he looks at you and he just goes, "Did Mortimer tell you what kind of business I am into?"
At me?
Ah,
No, to each one of you. It's an open question.
he
I-
kind of left it up for interpretation.
I believe you said you deal in information.
He goes, "Of course, everyone deals in information." He goes, "But I also deal in black market ballistics, high-end grade."
So you want us to acquire some high-end ballistics. Is this right? Is this correct?
I need you to acquire 30 gallons, a fair trade, 30 for 30, of Boral Prime.
Boral Prime.
Roll knowledge. Each one of you roll knowledge, but especially for Skag, roll it at advantage.
Okay.
Sorry, 19. I got a 19 and a 1, so that was like fast.
I rolled a 10.
Otis?
Six.
Okay. Skag, you know Boral Prime. You've heard it around. You actually even worked with it a bit. It is a natural reagent that is used in high-grade explosives and incendiary grenades, as well as bullets. It is essentially the TNT to anything. But it is highly explosive. It's extremely very stable.
All right, well, since I know that, I'm just gonna like take my hand from my gun and slam it on the table drunkenly and go, "It's highly explosive shit, guys."
Is there a particular location you want us to procure this from, or do we just have to find it?
Well, it's probably fair enough that based on the roll as well, Skag, that you know that Boral Prime usually is mined in the south. So, right around Oberon Hold.
I don't have my map up. How far is that from where we are?
I'm sorry, I think it's Overton.
I have
Overton
Overton Hill.
Overton Hill.
Overton Hill.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I'm getting confused with Fender and Hold. Overton Hill is where it's mined mostly out of.
So that's about as far south as Sandormo is north, from what I can tell
Right.
on the map.
Then I'll say that I'm gonna, with my hands still on the table, I'm gonna say it's pretty far south, guys, where we can find it.
He also relatively kind of tells you that it's relatively rare to the region. That's why the South kind of has a kind of a hold on it.
So Rev asks if you want us to get 30 gallons of this stuff, do you know of a source that we can procure this from? Because that's a large amount to get in one haul.
He goes, of course. Because I wouldn't be a very good black market dealer if I couldn't give you that information. But the problem is it's a bit tricky. You understand the political social climate that is befallen the wastes here. I'm to assume, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody trusts anybody.
Of course. But you do as well know that a lot of, as Overton Hill is one of the major producers and manufacturers of it, that a lot of their transports and a lot of their supplies are being hijacked by the Broken themselves and being taken with the help of a group known as Dark Protocol.
Are Dark Protocol associated with the Broken?
Dark Protocol is a outfit that is working out of of Los Rivos, which you would know 100% where Los Rivos is because it is the home of the data traffickers.
Okay.
So you've been there a few times. You've done work with them. Dark Protocol seems to be kind of like a sleeper cell that is kind of growing out of that is taking over, and they're working hand in hand with the Broken in order to essentially get a hold of this Boral Prime, which is extremely rare, in order probably to weaponize.
So if Rep knows this information, kind of is gathering that these are two organizations that the Broken and the Boral,
Dark Protocol.
Dark Protocol working with, he's going to say, it sounds like we are working towards the same goal. If we can procure this Boral Prime, we'll be causing a blow to the Broken as well as this Dark Protocol.
He looks at you and he just goes, absolutely.
I think we can...
But the idea is that they would not know it's us.
Well,
they won't know it's you.
Yeah, we
it's
three
us.
happen to be independent, so this does keep your name clean.
Absolutely.
I look at Skag and I look at Otis and I say, I think we could make a deal.
I agree. We should get 2 more drinks before we leave.
I look at him disgusted.
Roll Constitution, Otis, please.
Like you're one to judge, Mr. Wasteland Fuel.
That's a 1.
Yeah, your stomach it's like a volcano inside of it from being the beef jerky. You're starting to squirm again. Remo looks at you and he just goes, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine.
She goes, "Should I be concerned?"
No, I'm good. I need a quick pick me up, and it takes a couple minutes to go by. I'll be good.
He looks at Skag, who's kind of like feeling a bit mellow. He looks at, and then with that, he just looks at Rev, who's the only guy who's not afflicted by anything or
right
like
now,
that. And he just
yeah.
goes, "Are you sure you're the group to get this done?"
I look at my two friends. I say, I know they don't look like much, but when it comes to fire hitting the fan, I don't know if that's an expression.
It is now. It is now.
Yeah, automatically.
I'm going to bend him over the barrel and show him 50 states. That's a saying now.
Automatically, it is a saying. Remo looks at you and he goes, "Of course, I've heard that saying before."
Then these are the guys you want at your back when the fire hits the fan.
The fire hits the fan.
And melts it.
Ooh.
Stop helping, Otis.
I'm going to, at this point,
Wow.
since I'm kind of out of it, I'm going to slam my hand out again and go, Remo, obviously his stomach is very upset, and I think the only thing that could help him is, can I get 2 more of these bad boys?
With that, he goes. He gives a glance back to the two guys. Every time that you keep slamming your hand on it, they keep reaching for their guns and putting it back, as just like just in case. And he kind of like nods to him. One of the guys kind of gets up and he's kind of like still like moving to the side as he's like watching you as he kind of slowly goes down the stairs to go get you a couple more drinks.
As I notice that, though, real quick, I want to like quickly pull finger guns and just go, thank you. Just to make him a little more nervous.
Yeah. Remo doesn't even flinch, but the other guy's just kind of like, huh. He just goes, "Then here's the deal. You acquire 30 gallons of Boral Prime in whichever way that you deem fit. I can tell you that there is a shipment that is leaving Overton Hill in the next day here or so. You could..."
Sorry, that was
that an emergency?
it's like a flood warning.
Flood warning, yeah.
In my area, yeah.
If you hear this,
Yeah,
you should
sorry.
evacuate.
That's how dedicated Rev is though to this session. He's like, guys, sorry, it's just like a hurricane stage 5. Like, don't trip though. I'm gonna turn off my TV real quick.
He just goes,
In
You
the
could-
hurricane,
you
I
could-
rolled a 20.
you could hijack it in transit.
Where is it headed?
It's headed to Canberra.
Oh.
Well, part of it. And then
Who's getting it in Canberra?
He goes, let me tell you this. He goes, are you okay? Why do you keep looking around?
Because
he looks at you, and both he just goes, I am not sure that you guys... He actually looks to Rev, he just goes, I could get you other people to ensure that this will go well.
Otis is just totally annoyed that his answer wasn't answered. His question wasn't answered. So that's why I did the look.
The way I laughed, by the way, is just the way Skag just sort of said it laughed.
Rev looks kind of questioningly. He's like, if you got a couple guys who wouldn't be traced back to you, wouldn't mind some support.
He goes, well, maybe I can get you a few guys, if that may be necessary, to ensure that, keep an eye on your
But you
friend
don't
here.
want it traced back to you.
I will hire them. Mercenaries get paid.
Make sure you do-
I can ensure that the currency and transaction will not be traced back to myself.
And it also need
We
to
can't
ensure,
vouch for them.
yeah,
I won't vouch for
ensure
them.
that any other men have no connections to Eli Hauser or the head of Sandormo.
I understand. Now, this is what I can tell you. That the shipment will be in transit for probably about a day or so. Word is that a group has been paid very well to protect this transit from it befalling into any other unsavory hands. You might need to take care of them if you were going to try to boost it in transit.
Can I blow them up?
No, because then you would blow up the Boral Prime. Do you seem to have a problem understanding
I'm
simple
just making
common
sure we're
sense?
clear from the start.
He looks to Rep. I really could get you some other people. It'd be a lot easier on you.
Well, if it's got an escort, there might need to be explosions that could be distractions, and he's useful for that. I know from experience.
There is a look of just dissatisfaction on his face the moment that Rev says that. He's just like he's trying to get him just to get rid of Otis, but he goes fine. Let's continue. Because the word is a private hired merc group out of Jericho Summit, which Rand would know, was dispatched to ensure that the shipment would reach its destination safely and in one piece. This shipment will then be taken to the docks, put on a sail barge, and then where it goes, that unfortunately no one really knows at this point. As you
So
know,
we
this
have-
is Canberra. You cannot do anything like that within Canberra. This is a neutral place.
So basically, our options are to procure it in transit.
Or find a different way of getting it. You can always buy it straight out.
How much would 30 gallons of Boral Prime cost?
It better
No.
cost as much as 30 gallons of wasteland fuel.
Well, Boral Prime's going price right now per gallon is 10,000 checks per.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Someone
Yeah.
fan me.
I'm gonna turn towards him and just go.
Oh.
The worst part is it's like my alcohol breath. Just goes,
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, the guy who went down to get drinks brings two more
Oh, boy.
big mugs of the gray ale brew.
when he turns to go walk away, I just give him a boom, snap, or a little slap on the butt. You know?
Okay. Go ahead and roll awareness at disadvantage.
It's bad
I
news,
love
man.
At disadvantage, roll twice. Take the lowest.
Oh, 11.
Okay. He reels around and punches you square in the face, knocking you off your chair and onto the ground.
Nice.
He falls off his chair, right?
Yeah, like he gets hit and it just like he falls back
Oh.
out of his chair.
and Otis is laughing his ass off over there.
I'm just looking down at him like, whoa, what happened there?
Rev is he's shaking his head. Like, we're trying to make a good impression, and this guy's slapping his henchman's ass over it.
I'm going to quickly get up and just point at him and just sit down.
Rev does say, with that value of a cargo that you need us to procure, we're going to need a lot of assistance to get in San Dormo, because this is a high amount of work, a high cost of work you're asking for us here.
He goes, but you're trying. The deal is that you want to be smuggled into San Dormo, and as far as I see, none of you gentlemen are actually, well, especially you, Otis Durbanger, or would be welcome in San Dormo in the least.
Why would I not be welcome? Maybe they
You know
would like to see
You
me.
know exactly why. And
I'm-
with that, he
I-
pulls up his sidekick. He hits a few things, a 3D hologram, and you see a big bounty on your head. Otis Dirtbanger wanted, dead or alive, 500,000 checks. And with that, he closes it.
Wait, with that too, I'm a little more than tipsy now. I'm gonna lean into Otis and go, "Did you see the bounty on that guy?"
Yeah.
Notice, and he's like, "You never said you were that wanted."
I told you I'm very important.
Yeah, for some reason I don't believe much of what you say.
I'm gonna look at Skag. Yeah, man, that guy is a lot, huh? We should get him one
We
day.
should. Not a looker either.
Not as handsome as us.
No, definitely not.
And with that,
Okay.
he just kind of like, again, he just closes it, slaps it down. And he just kind of looks at the Skag. Where actually, he kind of looks at Skag and then just kind of like, just glances off because Skag and Otis are having this little thing. He looks at Rev. He just goes, what is the kind of the look on your face, Rev, once you kind of see this?
When I see, I'm a little bit in shock that Otis's bounty is that high. I knew we've kind of gathered from discussions that I think his father was important and he
Right.
might have some connections up north to being in charge of a town, but he had no idea the bounty was that high.
Yeah,
So I'm a little
I'd say
shocked.
that's pretty high.
yeah.
Yeah.
With that, he kind of looks at you and he just goes, "It's good to know who you were traveling with. Information is the greatest currency."
Not always.
Yes, it is. With the look on your face, you didn't even have any idea of that bounty, did you?
I had-
No.
Yeah, me neither.
And with that, he just goes, "Did you each happen to notice that there are 3 people down below that keep staring up here, looking at you?"
That's why I didn't want to come back to Canberra, and I'm looking at like Revan Skag.
I'm just gonna be like, "It's just because we're 3 good-looking dudes. Just calm down."
You're so belligerent, you fuck.
Rev's like, maybe in the future you could tell us the president is looking for you, apparently.
It'd be good to know. But either or,
There's ways around that. I can disguise myself, right?
of course, you can probably get away for something. You're a survivalist. You make your way of making yourself look like just anyone else.
Yeah.
Got one of those plain faces that can blend in,
Yeah, very plain.
Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing too much going on there. No Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Otis, you might want to start shaving or something.
I gotta take a shower.
You got to make yourself look different. There's a 500,000
I still have like
check
dried
bounty on you.
blood on me and everything. Like
Yes, yes, you do.
it's like my war thing. Like
It is.
this is-
Oh yeah, didn't you wipe blood on your face?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's still on there. He has not
it's
taken
forgot
it
like
off.
about that.
Viking-esque. That's how we celebrate our kills. Where I'm from.
So with that, he kind of looks at you, gentlemen. He just goes, "So I think that's more than fair."
Okay, if
He
you can
goes,
get us in San Dormo, yeah.
The deal is you acquire me if you get me what I need, I will ensure that we smuggled you into San Dormo, as well as I'll make sure that I procure you a few extra mercenaries to help you carry out your job.
And no names used, right?
Absolutely none. Of course not.
I think
No
we've-
names, Otis.
No, you idiot.
We have a deal.
Fair enough.
Gotta
Okay.
do what we gotta do.
How fast can you get us these mercenaries? Because we only have a day until this shipment is en route.
With that, okay. Well, the deal was is he would supply you the mercenaries to get into San Dormo. In order
Oh.
to procure it, he's willing to give you one gentleman. And that happens to be the gentleman that is kind of like you initially met, that is sitting right there.
Okay, the one who Skag slapped on the ass, apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna have fun on this trip.
Is he going to help us get the Boral Prime, or is he only helping us in San Dormo?
No, he what the gentleman, Remo, pretty much tells you is he will lend out one of his guards. The guard's name is Marbin, Marbin, and states that Marbin will follow you, make sure that you guys are able to acquire what is necessary, help you in any way necessary as well.
Okay.
Especially in regards to any kind of information that he gets directly from Remo himself.
It's like our
Yeah.
emissary.
Almost a bit of an emissary as well. He does tell you that it'll probably take a couple hours for him to figure out exactly if it is going by APC freighters, which would be like carrier freighters that you guys were initially, when you guys ventured out to the dig site, that kind of that carrier that you guys were in, if it's being done that way, or it's being used on the Great Mono, which essentially is a gigantic monorail that was created in the great city of Amsharai that was to branch out. And there are a few stops that are just outside Cambaran which they can unload it off of. And usually at that point they take it into Cambaran, which is protected and safe because it's a neutral city. And it usually at that point goes on to sail barges to the eastern seaports, anything like that goes beyond.
Okay. So while you're figuring out the route, we can prepare for our trek and get outfitted.
He goes, fair enough. He goes, Marbin will wake you in the morning. And with that, he'll have more information on the transit and be able to take care of that for you and get you guys on the road. Is there anything
also
that you require before you do that?
I feel like we should move to a different location because of the looks that Otis has been getting in here.
Okay. Everybody roll awareness, except for Skag. You roll at a disadvantage because you were just...
Okay.
You've been punched and you've had 2 big jugs of gray ale.
17.
I rolled a 17 as well.
I had a 14.
On disadvantage, you rolled twice. That was your lowest.
Yeah, I got 17 first, and then 14 was actually the
Okay,
second one.
Come on.
So you're fairly kind of like, you can pick up on things. You're not 100% as sharp as you usually are, but you get a sense that, yeah, maybe there are some kind of prying eyes. You do notice, each one of you, that there's two figures that are below that are sitting actually at the bar who keep taking drinks and giving glances up. Because Otis is actually sitting next to the rail right across from him, they can actually see Otis. You do notice that one of them is a human, it's a gentleman. The other one is a Saldaran. And there's another one who's a female that was part of that group, and she's kind of like moved off into the back next to the door, and she's kind of like leaning up against it. She's given the sense that she's kind of just watching everything that's kind of going on, but you do kind of get a sense that she's giving glances up as well.
Okay. I think we need to. Rev is saying this to his group now. I believe we need to make a distraction so that Otis can get out of here and we can rendezvous somewhere else less conspicuous. We're too out in the open here.
I'm gonna lean in really close, as if I'm about to whisper, but drunkenly really loud say, "I can do that."
I was hoping you'd say that, Skag.
With that, I want to like stand up and kick over my chair and kind of like walk back downstairs.
Okay. As you do that, it makes a bit of a ruckus.
That's not the distraction, by the way, guys.
Right.
Good. Good.
I just move a chair real quick.
Yeah, Remo kind of like is taken back as you kind of do that, and he's just kind of like, he kind of watches you walk by. The two gentlemen again have their hands on their guns, and they're kind of like watching you.
As I walk by that one guy, though, I just want to look at him and go.
Okay.
Rev, what says to Remo? Is there a back door out of here?
He just goes, "Yeah, absolutely."
Okay.
Well, that's where I'm heading.
I'm going to walk out the front door and try to get woman by the door's attention while Otis heads out the back door.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, up on the second story landing in the corner, there is kind of a back door. Remo kind of just points you forward. He just goes, "You can take him out that."
Okay, so I say to Otis, you stay here. You're the focus of this. As soon as you see me get the woman down by the door's attention, you jet out the back door. You got it?
Jet. Okay.
Jet. You move it.
I can go slow.
I'd rather you go fast.
Okay. Okay.
And I just say,
So quick
500,000
is the
bounty.
answer.
Yes.
Yeah. He Remo, when he hears Rev say that, he just kind of like mouths it as well. 500,000 checks.
So I get up more nonchalantly and head down like I'm just heading out for kind of a just leisurely stroll out the door.
Okay. So Skag, as you're kind of like making your way down, what are you trying to do?
So I have my beer still in my one hand. It's my third and final beer, by the way,
Sure.
guys. How close are the two people who are looking at Otis or to the actual bar itself?
That actually were at the bar? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're probably maybe like 20, 25 feet away from you.
Okay, so I pretty much want to drunkenly walk over to them and then fall onto their table while spilling my drink onto them.
Okay. So yeah, they're again
Very loudly, by the way. It's not something that's like, oh my gosh, I'm
Right.
sorry. It's, whoa! You know?
There is roll athletics because there is a lot of people in between you and them. Let's see if you can. You're half kind of like drunk and stuff.
5.
Yeah. As you try to make your way towards them, there's a couple of guys who are gambling, and you bump into one of them, and you trip and fall, and you spill most of your drink all over the floor.
Don't worry, I'm not out of ideas.
Roll. Okay. So you're on the floor, Rev. As you're kind of coming down, unfortunately, you see Skag fall on the ground.
I see him, but I'm going to not acknowledge it because I am 100% focused on the woman by the door.
Sure. Okay.
And I want to see what her reaction is. If this has gotten her attention or if she's still looking up where Otis is.
She gives a quick glance to him, and then her glance goes to what you were guessing are to the two gentlemen who are at the bar who have turned
Okay.
and kind of
Okay.
taking a look at to see what was going on, what was the ruckus back there.
Okay.
Roll,
So
roll
while
awareness really quick, both of you as well,
okay.
as well as Otis, please.
Wait, all of us or just?
Yes,
Oh,
18.
18.
I can already tell you mine's going to be a 1.
I rolled a 9.
Okay,
I'm rolling at disadvantage, right?
right.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, you kind of just you feel a
I
bit.
can't see much on the floor.
Yeah, you feel a bit embarrassed. That you're a bit off balance and you fell. Again, Rev is kind of like hyper focused on just the girl. Otis, you do kind of like see that happening, and you see him fall on the ground, and then you kind of take a look back and you notice that Skag's gun is still sitting on the table.
I never took out my gun.
Yeah, you did. You said you took it
No,
out
I
and
didn't.
slammed it on the table.
I never said that.
Yeah, you
I
did.
said I didn't put my gun on the table. I said I put my hand on my gun, but when I slam my hand, it's just my hand. I never unholstered my weapon at all. I still have both my weapons.
It sounded to all of us that you kept taking out your gun and slamming it on the table.
No. I was slamming my hand.
Okay.
I wasn't slamming my gun. I would assume by then those people would have probably shot me if I was doing a gun on the table.
Okay.
No, I was loudly
that's
going
fine.
like this.
You do notice that as well as the two people who are at the bar, are kind of looking over and trying to see what is going on the ground.
Okay. Rev is trying to surreptitiously get to the door, but to the side of the woman, in order to make a quick strike that she does not see. That is my. Actually, what I would like to do is during this commotion, would it be possible for me to cast a mirage, a like combat thing to try to make it harder for me to be seen?
You could do it, but it's going to bring attention to yourself.
Well, mirage drops threat, and my plan is to be less conspicuous. So that would make me more conspicuous if I tried to.
Oh, if you went
Start fading
visible
away.
in the middle of a bar, it'd be kind of like.
Well, I'm skirting the edges, kind of like on the edge of the room.
Okay,
so
well, that's the case. Roll sneak, and let's see how well
Okay.
you can do this. Do you have
Okay.
sneak at all?
I do not
Then
have
you just
that.
roll it. You roll it as normal.
Okay.
Oh, this over here is like, I'll mirage. I got
Oh, I have
sneak.
sneak.
I know. I rolled a 5.
Yeah.
My sneaking is not very effective.
As you like even start to come down the stairs, you do notice that a few people kind of even look at you as
Okay.
you're kind of coming down, and they kind of go back to their business. As that kind of happens, you see two gentlemen go down to pick up Skag, and they're just like, "What the hell, man? You spilled all over my boots."
So wait, am I standing up now?
Yeah, well, you're being physically kind of picked up by these.
But
two
I'm on my
gentlemen.
feet, right?
Well, you're being picked up.
I want to know when I'm on my feet because that's when the distraction is going to come in.
Okay. Well, yeah, these two gentlemen kind of pick up, and he's just like, "You got it all over my boots, dude. What's your problem, man?"
I'm just going to look him in the eyes, but then quickly draw my gun and shoot it up in the air, and then just, as if he's not even there, just yell, "Who pushed me?"
Okay. Well, roll a d
Okay.
roll a d20 against me.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. Yeah. You react fast enough to kind of pull it out. They even try to like grab your hand as they see you go for it. And you do kind of shoot. As that you do obviously shoot it up, and you scream this out. As that happens, you see about 5-6 guys immediately draw their guns and point it directly at you now.
I think the distraction worked.
All right. This whole time, Rev is still not participating in this. He's zeroed in on this woman. He wants to get to the side of her to like. I want to do the Vulcan neck pinch. I want to like knock her out with a
Roll sneak again. At this point, roll it at advantage because he's gotten enough people's attention. Now they're all looking at him.
His distraction is effective. 14 was my better roll.
Okay. You do kind of notice that the woman is now, she's reaching for her gun that she's got on it, but you do notice that the thing that the gun that she kind of has is just almost a little like sidearm thing. It's not her main gun. The moment you kind of get close to her, you do notice that she's not fully leaning up against the wall. that what's
Okay.
behind her is this light cannon that is
Oh.
attached to this gigantic harness that is like on a track. That's kind of like wrapped on her, like this really heavy duty harness that
My
she can
gosh.
just take. That you've seen it before. It just rotates this cannon off to her side and then it rotates it back onto her.
Holy crap. Okay.
So she just
Well,
goes for her little side, like a little sidearm, and then she kind of like, she's taken off. Obviously, whatever's being dealt with is between
Okay.
this group here.
okay. Well, then my aim is to actually get behind her and lock her arms on her side at her side so she cannot draw the cannon, basically. So that is my goal.
Okay. With that, go ahead and first roll awareness.
Okay.
Roll awareness as well, Otis.
I rolled a
Eight.
13.
An 8. You're gonna roll awareness at advantage because they have no idea at this point. No one's even looking at you, Otis.
11.
Okay, you kind of see Rev make his move as he kind of skirts by. Now this kind of like this little fray that's in between. They're now pushing, and they're pushing in there. You're yelling and screaming at Skag. They have guns drawn. Everybody's now like the whole tavern is kind of like, what the hell's going on, dude? Like what's going on?
Where's Remo?
Remo is merely just watching this. He doesn't care if you live or die. It doesn't even matter to him. You're just
I'm gonna-
pawns in the
I
whole
wanna-
thing.
I want to turn around and look at him. I go, is this a trap?
He just goes, your friend went down there and started this. What did I do?
Who took out that contract?
What are you talking about?
The contract from my head. Who's the name that's calling for it?
He pulls it up, blows it up, 3D holographic, spins it, and it says it's coming from Rufus Titanimus.
He doesn't have that. So if you're going to cross us, just remember, it won't get paid. He doesn't have that.
He just drops it. And he just goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. But I get the sense that you're not as crazy as you let on. Do your friends know that?
Yeah?
What do you want? What do you want that wasteland fuel for? You don't care
For the
about San
rebellion.
Telmo.
For the rebellion.
Exactly. You want your home.
Well, rebellion is good for you. Because you can make money.
Is that it? Am I
Nobody
gonna,
wants him up there.
In the end, I'm going to be dealing with you. One fool for another fool.
I could be the fool that lines your pockets.
I doubt it. Maybe you should
Oh,
go.
you
down
already
and-
have enough money.
Maybe
I
you sh-
forgot.
maybe you
You're
should go-
fucking special.
Maybe you should go out the back.
Keep it in mind. I'll see you.
Save yourself while you can.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to jet.
You don't. None of you guys noticed that that's the case. A few of the guys have now grappled with you. Go ahead and roll a strength check. Skag.
15.
Okay.
With your alcoholic strength, you push them off.
Yeah. Well, with one of the guys, you push one of the guys off. You still have like your gun up there. You're not. I guess you're not really trying to shoot anybody.
No.
You're just trying to like obviously.
I feel like it's just like when you're an adult and children just kind of try to grab onto
Yeah.
you and like lift on your arm. That's what I'm doing right now.
Unfortunately, one of the guys in the back actually does grab you and restrain you and hold you down, as the other guys start to come in and start to punch you. They don't. They drop their weapons and they just want to like just a melee for spilling, alcohol all over you. You start to
melee
get
fight
punched in
'em.
the game.
I wanna try to wriggle out of this and just start throwing swings too.
Okay, you just create a melee, a ball
Just
or
create
bar
a melee,
fight.
yeah, a bar,
Okay.
and then during the fight, I want to try to sneak out. So
Okay. You do notice as a kind of a fight breaks out at this point, Rev. The girl, as she kind of sees this, she ducks out the door.
Oh, okay. So I didn't get a chance to try to restrain her. She just left.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna assume Skag can get out of this mess that he made. I'm going to surreptitiously leave, trying to keep an eye on her, and I also want to quietly into my sidekick go, just to Otis, not to Skag, because he's got his own issues.
Yeah.
To Otis, say, the girl I was watching is out the door. Keep an eye open.
Yep. And I'm running. I think I want to run towards like a bathhouse.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
JJ's bathhouse.
the Triple J bathhouse is over
Jen,
in
Jenny, and Jennifer, or whatever.
Jen, and Jen. Yeah, no, Jen, and Jenny is obviously on the east side near the front. So you definitely kind of know how to get there. You're kind of darting down back alleys. Roll sneak if you can. Let's see how well you're.
He actually gets to sneak because he has
does.
sneak.
20.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nobody even sees you. Yep.
know.
Even sees you at all.
Oh,
You find
I'm like a gazelle.
Yeah, you find every shadow, every dark corner, every kind of hiding place, and you essentially, by all intents and purposes, you disappear. You disappear from view.
I'm going to use that from now on.
Okay.
Stealthy like a gazelle.
Stealthy like a gazelle.
We're making all kinds of lines tonight.
When the fire
Fire
hits
up
the
the fan.
fire
Fire
on the
hit
fan.
Fire hits the fan.
Okay. Start rolling some d6s here. Let's see if you can get some punches in.
How many do you want me to roll?
We'll just roll one. Are you just trying to? I'm guessing you're trying to deal with the guy in front of you first.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to wildly start swinging.
Sure.
All right.
Well, at least you're being restrained, so let's just say you're trying to kick, at least.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Okay. Yeah. As you kind of go to kick, he kind of like knocks it down. He tries to go back at you and swing, but you do enough tussling that he kind of like misses. He actually punches the guy who's holding you. And the guy just like gets
This
hit.
is going good.
He just goes, dude, what's your problem, man?
Please tell me he lets go of me and starts fighting him.
And with that, he kind of lets go. He just goes, This is about that girl again, isn't it, dude? You're supposed to be punching this guy. And with that, he even like he kind of like sucker punches you he tries to sucker punch you in the back. And yeah, you like kind of like dodge out of the way, and he kind of misses. And the other guys are just who are starting to come up. He just goes, "Yeah, man, why'd you punch our guy, man?" And he just goes, "Is it because of that girl?" And the guy's like, "This isn't between us, man. It's between this guy."
I also want to just start like antagonizing and go, it's because of the girl. That's what he was saying earlier. It's the girl.
Yeah, you go. I saw him with that girl.
Yeah, she was here, and it's him. It's him. It's this guy.
Roll persuasion.
15.
With that, the guy that obviously who punched the guy accidentally, and he's mad. He just goes, "Well, yeah, maybe it is about it. Maybe he's right.
I'm really good at starting rumors.
Maybe it is about it." He goes, if it is, he goes, "Let's just end it right now, man. You and me." And the guy just goes, "Listen, man, I don't know what this guy's talking about, dude. You never even met this guy. He just spilled junk." And with that, the guy punches the other guy and starts this big brawl where like 4 guys like jumping this one guy and just beating him.
Wait, at this point, can I just go, man, this girl isn't even worth it. I'm out of here. Just like walk away.
Yeah, you kind of like toss it as this melee and fray is starting to erupt. You can kind of see as you're going out that they're starting to bump into a few other people, and all of a sudden they're just like, "Dude, we're fighting!" And they start breaking out and fighting. And you see like this poor waitress who's like in the middle of this like ruckus, like holding drinks, just going, "Oh."
Wait. I want to walk up to her though before I leave and just give her like 20 checks and just go, "You did a great job."
And she kind of looks at it as you see like people flying and getting knocked behind. There's a few that kind of like bump into her, and you kind of like push her away, and she goes, "Thanks."
And with that, I leave.
As you kind of walk out, even Rev, who kind of walks out, can just hear like just a big ruckus and fray that is starting to
I see
ensue.
bodies like flying out.
You
the
can
floor.
actually see through
Someone's throwing out the window.
you can actually see through like the windows itself. That like bodies being slammed up against it and sliding down, and guys like punching. You
It's
see
like those old westerns,
you see a few other like even like a couple
know what
waitresses who are up there just
You know what that
slamming
is?
some of the
That's
mugs
the
on the
fire
guys.
hitting the fan. That's what that is.
The fire completely hits the fan at that point. As
I
you
like
do kind
that.
of take a quick look, you just see slowly, nonchalantly, not even affected, Remo and his two guys disappear into the back.
Nice. So I guess me and Skag can kind of regroup now, and right now since we're outside of the bar, correct?
Yeah. So Skag comes like running out, and it's like an old western. You hear the fray and the thing going, and then you see like Skag coming out, and he's just like, "Hey, see you later." You immediately
Thanks
think
for
to
the
yourself,
drink,
like,
guys.
"That's the guy who started it."
He turns to the bar, tips his hat.
And when I look at you, Rev, oh, we got to come back here again soon, man. This is fun.
Like, yeah, that seems like your kind of place, Skag.
Otis, you make your way towards the Triple J's.
I'm gonna rush in and swing the door open and just walk
Okay.
on in.
You walk on in, and you see Jen,
Ah, what? Hi.
and she kind of looks at you, and she just goes, "You're back?"
Yeah. Hi.
She goes, "Another bath? It looks like you need it."
I do, but I need you to help me.
And she just goes, "With what?
I need to hide.
Why? Why are we whispering? There's nobody here."
Oh, someone's trying to kill me.
Oh. Well, I mean, you do have blood all over your face. Maybe you killed them?
Mm-mm. That's a couple days ago.
Wow. You were just here like 2 days ago.
Uh-huh. I need another bath, but I need to hide first.
And she goes, well,
Or you could hide me in the bath.
she goes,
Two birds, one stone.
you know,
That's what I was
the
thinking.
bathhouses are always private rooms.
Help me out.
And she just goes, okay. She goes, 5 checks.
I don't- 5 checks? Okay, and I'm going to slap 5 checks into her hand.
Do you have 5 checks?
I have 25.
Okay. Well, you obviously transfer 5 checks,
Mhm.
unless you want to put it on a data card, where they can download.
No, I
whatever you
I
have.
want to give her 5 checks.
Okay,
Like,
so you just transfer
straight
directly
cash.
to him.
Mhm.
She goes, okay. She goes, I'll take you to the. She goes, for one more check extra. She goes, I'll take you to the VIP.
no, just a regular room.
I
She-
want to
she
see what's
just
in the
goes-
VIP.
Fine.
Thank you.
And then Jen kind of like takes you back there. Again, Jen is the brunette. The other, the Jen is the brunette. The Jenn is the black hair. And then the Jenny is the big mamacita girl that you met and you're having that long conversation with, who's bringing you food. Jen just kind of brings you back. Jen, with the one N, is much younger. You figure that she's probably just turned 20. She's the baby sister of the group, so there's a little bit of attitude with her. She goes, come on. And she takes you to one of the back rooms.
I
She
follow
goes-
her.
She opens it up. She unlocks it. She just goes, the room's all yours for 2 clicks. Fair enough? You know,
Fair
2
enough.
You know, 2 clicks is 2 hours.
Yep. Fair enough.
She goes, okay. Do you require anything else?
Just a bath.
Food, beverages,
No,
beef jerky?
I've got plenty.
Okay.
Rev
some?
does want to contact Otis before he's disrobed or anything. Rev does want to contact Otis. Can I contact him right now on my
Sure.
sidekick? Okay. Rev says to Otis, I know you snuck out, but remember, we need you to get in disguise before we meet back up. So whatever you're doing, make sure you change the way you look.
and then I'm gonna hop in and go, Otis, you missed what I did, man. It was a blast.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Disguise. Remember, out.
With that, she
And
gives-
then I chuckle into it for Skag.
And then with that too, I'm gonna like tap on Rev and be like, you saw what I did, right?
it's great, man. Okay.
with that, she
Cool
just
it.
kind of like she hears this back and forth between you because he's doing it right in front of her, and she just goes, "I'll just leave you alone," and she just kind of closes
Wait.
the door and just you just hear her just kind of walk off.
I'm gonna stand there scratching my head because I need my damn bath. But
Well, yeah, in the private rooms are very very big baths that are there.
It's like an already
they're already
drawn
they're
bath,
already
right?
preheated and everything, and it's there.
okay.
You didn't want any of your clothes cleaned or anything like that, so that was not taken care of.
Oh no, I'm taking a bath in the clothes.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
fair enough.
I'm just jumping in with my clothes on.
Clothes, bitch.
Yeah, just
Okay,
enough
yeah.
to get the hair, the
Sure.
face clean, and the
Not a problem.
clothes.
There, what you see is a very, very nice, beautiful, almost like brass colored bath that is probably maybe like 8-9 feet. Kind of a nice oval that's sitting in there, and it's being heated and powered by some kind of like fusion turbines or something like that. That you can kind of like just sit in there. It's got bubbles. There are kind of soaps and stuff that are there off to the side.
Yeah.
Nice floral arrangements and decorations on there with these like beautiful kind of like velvet curtains that you can kind of slide to ensure that you're completely unseen behind it.
Oh, if that's the case, I'm just gonna drop trout, drop my belongings, get in there, get a real bath,
Gotcha. Okay.
and then I think I'm gonna touch up my hair
Ooh.
if there's a razor,
There's any of those things that are in there for you.
and I'm gonna completely bald.
Okay. Roll dexterity.
6.
Okay.
Oh God.
It's like shaving's not that hard. Please don't slit your own throat or something.
you start
He's
to
gonna leave like patches and everything.
you start to shave this thing off, and you kind of like, yeah, you leave a few nicks and patches. You don't get it fully cleaned off, but you think to yourself, because you're only like looking at it from the mirror in front, and you think to yourself, yeah, that's not bad.
I say there's like a big patch of hair on the back, like the back of my
like a
head.
mullet. You got like a bald mullet going on.
Yeah.
What he has is like the old like late '80s, '90s ducktail. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like
DuckTales, but everything else is smooth.
everything
Yeah.
is complete. So it's a little nicked up, but I mean, you're
I'm into that.
completely fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Rev and Skag, what are you doing? You do get, obviously, you hear that Otis is still alive and he got out there,
Okay.
got out of the place unharmed.
Well, first thing Rev does is he wants to give Skag his first aid kits that he bought, and I also want to transfer his credits because I haven't given anybody the money from all the stuff I've
Okay.
got.
So you're just
So-
like
Or the
kind of like in
stuff,
the middle,
yeah.
yeah, and you're in the middle of the road. Nobody
Well,
seems
yeah.
to be looking at you gentlemen at all at this
Yeah,
point.
just kind of go off to the side of the road
Yeah.
so I can, disperse a few of these things because I've been
Sure.
like carrying this stuff since
Absolutely.
I picked it up. So
You do
I gave
transfer the
you-
money. You hear a ding on your sidearm as well, Otis. You kind of take a look at it. It says your amount's been transferred. What is the amount that you?
the amount that I've transferred to him is, well, have I already paid for the 30 gallons of?
You have not.
I've not paid for. Okay, well then it's 5,500 minus 6. It's 4,400 and 93.50. No, sorry, 54.93.50 is what he has.
What is that? Is that with change?
It does because 650 were the first aid kits.
Oh,
About
is this
650.
my money?
Yeah, this is your money.
Yeah, I think you guys are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I thought it was
giving you-
Otis's. Okay. What is it
I'm
again?
giving
54
Skag 5,493 and
52
half.
cents.
Yeah, and 50
Yeah.
cents. of a
Don't
check.
worry. Don't worry about any half checks.
Okay. Okay. Round up.
Just round up.
54.94.
Yeah, just round up.
54.94. And I do say, by the way, the wasteland fuel's coming out of yours and Otis's half. By the way.
Aye, partner. Finger guns.
Okay.
I just want to be clear. How much did you send? I heard way too
haven't
many
sent-
numbers.
I haven't
Okay.
sent any to you yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that
all
was
right.
that was
That's
just
fine.
strictly to Skag.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got nets, smoke grenades, scopes. I got a lot of stuff I got to give to Otis. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that, Rev, you're almost a bit confused in mind F as much as you've ever been, because up until like a day ago, this guy's been calling you skinny little robot man,
yeah,
and maybe you're just thinking, wow, the alcohol just makes him a bit more friendly.
yeah. The
What
finger
alcohol
guns.
does.
I was like, okay, I could get along with this gag a little bit better.
Okay. Well, math hasn't gotten any better in the future.
Yeah,
Exactly, Renus.
told you I'm not that I shouldn't be negotiating anything.
But
hey,
you do transfer his money at least to him. So how much are you transferring to him?
it's that 49 whatever. It's 54.94, I think.
Okay, so you get 5,494 checks as well, capital checks.
Yeah, checks to Skag.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess after that, we just need to find a place to chill while we wait to either hear from Otis or what's his face, Remo.
Right, Marvin.
know what we
Marvin
should
was
do
the
while
guy
we
who was
wait?
going to contact you and give you the information. Remember, he's the guy who's
Oh,
going to
that's
go
right.
with you.
Marvin. Yeah. Okay. What should we do, Skag?
Find another bar.
There's only one. There's only one in there. You started the.
Only
you
one
started the
bar
fight.
in the whole town.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the
Is there
bar,
like
the
a-
bar itself is run and protected by the Cambers, the people who will actually run Cambaron. So everything goes directly to him or her.
Okay. Well, we should just
as
go
you're
to a
doing it,
restaurant or
both
something.
roll
Let's go to a
awareness really
restaurant.
cool. Yeah, there
roll
are
awareness.
there are tons of different restaurants and stuff like that you can eat at.
Nice little dinner with Rev. That'd be cool. I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. You guys are kind of having this conversation, just going, yeah, we can probably just get something to eat. You're having this with Skag. Rev, you do notice the Soldarin and the other gentleman that were sitting at the bar come walking out of the Last Chance bar now as well.
Okay. We're kind of off to the side of the road. Do they see us, or are they just kind of looking around? What do I see them doing?
They come out and they kind of like look around and their eyes catch yours.
Oh. Well, I'm not the best at, deception, so I guess I'm just going to stare them right back.
Did you want to try to roll deception and see if you can pull something off?
Oh, it hasn't gone well in the past, but sure. Let's see if I can pretend like I didn't notice that they saw
Sure.
me. That's
Just-
what I'm going to try
yeah,
to do.
No advantage, just roll it as is.
I rolled a 13.
As much as your human side could recall,
Uh-huh.
you do your best to kind of like awkwardly play it off. They kind of like take a look at you, kind of hold their gaze, and kind of see that you're just kind of like, you're putting your hand up against the side,
I'm tying my shoe.
kind of like, you're doing something. It seems unnatural and awkward, and they kind of like, and kind of like walk across the street and walk off.
Okay. And I'm like, I'm so smooth.
Skag, you're actually like watching him kind of like do this thing, and you're kind of like
Weird
I'm just gonna be staring at him like this. Because I was talking about sushi. Next thing you know, he was just
yeah,
looking around. I'm like,
he's just kind of like, yeah,
And I
doing
just
all
say-
these things.
I just say to Skag, I'm being nonchalant right now.
Roll knowledge, Skag. Roll at a
He doesn't.
disadvantage.
Roll at a disadvantage. 5. Damn, I had a 14
you have
too.
no idea what nonchalant means.
Just, what is that?
You're like, what? Is that a new dance?
What are you doing?
I'm being inconspicuous, okay?
Roll knowledge at disadvantage.
6.
You have no idea what inconspicuous means.
I'm just gonna lean like back a little bit and just go. Are you hitting on me?
Roll persuasion.
Who, me?
No, Skag.
Okay.
Looks like it's about to be a romantic dinner because I rolled a 19.
You're not exactly sure, Rev, of what you. At this point, you're so confused about what you said that you're questioning. What did I say to this guy? Because you're thinking to yourself, was I flirting with him? Like I don't even like. I'm not even sure. Like I even know how to do that.
So my
guys just made us
response
all
is,
flustered.
yeah, my response is, I don't think so, but I'm not exactly sure what I was doing.
There you go.
I'm gonna lean.
So maybe.
Oh wait, I want to put my arm on his shoulder and lean towards him. And go. If you were, it wasn't working. Don't do that again.
Rev just says, "You're right. Okay."
Yeah, as you guys are having this conversation, and this small little girl kind of comes up and she goes, "I think he was flirting," and she like takes off.
I'm gonna as she runs, I'm just gonna point at her and go, "Oh, I knew it! I knew it!"
There's obviously, if you guys gonna want to go to get something to eat, there are other places to get something to eat.
Okay.
You can obviously eat at the Camber Inn as well. There is a kind of a restaurant there.
Well, I mean, at the point that we're in, where's the most romantic restaurant to go? I mean, I guess this is how it's going. I need a candlelight dinner with Rev over here.
You can go down to the docks, and there's kind of a little like fish shack that's down there that just has like barrels that you can sit on. You can watch all the sail barges come in.
Just talk about life.
Wherever
Rev
you
is
guys,
no
wherever you
longer
guys are kind of like looking
just
for food.
The
you guys
closest, let's just closest. Well, I feel like actually we want to get away from this bar because of all the commotion we caused. So
Right.
I'd say down by the docks might actually be a good idea, just to get
Yeah,
away
sure.
from this part of town.
Sure, yeah. You kind of like go down into the western end of the city itself. You do kind of see like the opening to the main docks of Cambaron, where obviously again the heavy freighters and sail barges kind of come into. And there's just kind of like, again, kind of like a Saldarian fish shack, fish bake that's kind of like out there. That a lot of the sailors and such who come in kind of like eat there. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing special. People just get their food and kind of like sit there and just kind of like sit around and pile around and eat.
Okay, well, just want to pass time there since we're just waiting now. Rev does, in the meantime, want to play with some of my new toys that I bought because I got this data jack and surveillance cameras and all these things. So,
And I want to go off and hassle the people to see if they have alcohol there.
Okay, yeah. When you kind of go up to them, they said essentially they say that the only thing they really have is a gray ale brew, which you had been drinking before.
I want 2 of them for me and I'm gonna point at Rev and go myself.
Okay, so he just goes, well, okay, it's that, and would you like, obviously, whatever their special is for the day, whatever their catch is.
I'd like 2 of those, please.
Okay, so it's probably gonna run you, the gray ale brews run 2 checks a piece, so that's 4 checks, and then give another like 2 checks in total for the food, so just a total of 6.
Okay. Somehow I lost my pen.
Okay. As you guys kind of sit there and you're just making yourself acquainted with your new toys there, Rev, that really kind of like makes you even more hyper focused just about that. You're just intrigued by these like new things that you forget all about the 3 people that were watching you, and you almost kind of like forget all about Otis a bit,
Okay.
as Otis is sitting in a bath, a nice warm bath. He's just kind of shaved off his hair and left a nice little patch, little tail on the back that he finds.
Looking like he belongs at the docks at all times.
Yes, that he finds intriguing. You hear a knock on the door, Otis.
My door
Yes.
to the room. Who is it?
And you hear it's the friendly sound of Jenny. She goes, "I heard you were back."
I am. Get in here.
She opens up the door. You're obviously behind.
Hey.
Are you kind of behind the curtains?
Yeah, I'm behind the curtain, just my face. I'm like, hey, you.
And obviously, like the big hefty woman. Very, very though. Again, you get the sense that if she lost, 50, 60 pounds, she'd be quite attractive. She's super friendly and nice. She's got blonde hair and it's kind of like tied up in a ponytail. And she comes in. She just goes, "Would you like any kind of food?"
Well, last time I remember you made something really tasty. So yeah, I guess I'll have like bacon or whatever.
You guys got jerky?
She just goes, "Would you like bacon and eggs? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
We can actually make you like eggs and ham steak with gravy. It's really, really good."
Free?
And she goes, "No, of course not."
Okay.
She goes, "You got to pay for this good."
I flip her 2 checks.
She obviously, I don't. You keep tossing checks like they're money, which it doesn't work that way. Do you like transfer the checks?
That's
Yeah.
I got this thing in my head. Yes, I transfer 2
she
checks.
it like dings. She goes, "All right." She goes, "I'll give you a big hearty plate."
Yeah.
She goes, "You continue to keep." She goes, "You continue keep taking that bath." And she looks at you and she just
Hey,
goes, "You missed the spot."
I need help.
She goes, "With what?"
I need someone to cut the rest of my hair. I feel ridiculous.
She kind of walks up to you and she's kind of wearing like a very nice kind of like this floral apron. And she kind of walks up and she kind of like grabs your head and she kind of pulls it down. She just goes, She goes, "All right." She goes, "Hold still." She grabs the razor and you hear the and she just kind of like puts your head back up. She kind of like grabs you and like she's got like these really like big kind of like man hands that kind of like hold you. And she just goes, she kind of looks at you. She grabs one of like the rags and she kind of like scrubs off the blood that's been caked on your side, and she kind of looks at you, and then she just takes you and roll strength at disadvantage.
15. Wow, that was awesome. 19 and 15.
Okay, you get the feeling that she's trying to dunk you underneath there, and you just kind of like
Yeah. I fight it.
Okay, and she just goes, "All right." And then
Okay.
you just see her just reach down. She grabs a big bucket and she just goes, just slams it on the top of you. And she just goes, "There you go." She goes, "I'll be up with that. Be with up with that when that meal." She goes, "I'll be right back."
Great. And then I'm gonna just get ready. I'm gonna hop out, get ready,
Okay,
dry it off, cleaned up, all that. Sake of time.
sure, not a problem. For the sake of time, you guys are just going. You guys are having your like meal. It's starting to get late. You get the feeling it's starting to get later on in the day. A couple hours have passed or something like that.
Okay.
You guys are kind of watching some of the barges come in. You do know that these barges do not have typical cloth sails. Okay? They have solar sails, so they have solar cells that power big fusion-powered engine turbines that are placed on the back that propel these great ships across the seas. You start to see them kind of coming in, and you do notice that there's a lot of like sailors and such that are coming off, and they start to sing songs down at the dock. You notice they don't really kind of venture too far in to the Cambarian itself. Usually they have a designated person that goes in there and kind of handles all that. You probably get the situation, Rev, that you actually see some of those porters and such that were coming from that main trade post that you had sold.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That are coming down, verifying obviously the supplies, the cargoes and stuff, paying them, and they're using that obviously whatever they're getting, and they're taking it over, and they're getting food, and then you see some of them are kind of like, yeah, let's go to the bar, let's go have a good time tonight, and such. But for the most part, you do notice that nobody even takes any notice of you guys. Roll Constitution, Skag. At disadvantage.
Damn, because I rolled a 23.
Skag has passed out
Okay.
with a big smile and crumbs on his face.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to disturb his sleep. He earned it with the bar brawl distraction earlier. I do want to, eventually, after a couple hours, check in on my sidekick with Otis and say, "Hey, Otis, are you ready to go?"
I was just about to hit you up.
Otis, you're actually sitting at a table. You're eating an extremely delicious meal that was created by Jenny.
Just grabbing a bite. What's up? Where should we meet?
Well, me and Skag are down by the docks. Do you want to meet us here, or should we meet you somewhere?
The docks sound good.
Thank God, I'm passed out. You don't need to come here.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. It's like,
I'm a big guy. It might be too much for Rev to have, like, carry me alone, you know?
Yeah.
all right, I say that's a good idea because Skag kind of passed out.
Oh, can't
You
bring
just
that guy
hear me-
anywhere.
You just hear me snoring in the background.
Yeah.
All right, so I tell him whatever the name, we're at the whatever restaurant so that he can come meet us
You
whenever
can
he's
just
ready.
tell him that you're at the docks.
Okay, that's what I do. I tell him we're at the docks and he can meet us whenever he's
All right. I'm
ready.
gonna finish up my meal.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Thank you, girls. Thank you.
The
Some
others
other
go,
day I'll be back.
Like, of course. Did you enjoy your bath? Did you enjoy the meal?
The bath was all right. The haircut was myself. But the meal was fantastic.
Jenny kind of gives you a smirk.
Tell your young sister to grow up. Jesus, she's terrible.
Yeah, Jen kind of pops out one of the doors. She just goes, "Maybe you should grow up."
I can't help it that you like me.
She goes, "Oh my God, no."
And I look at Jenny. See what I mean?
Jenny actually kind of looks at it. Let's see what Jenny actually thinks. Jenny actually looks at her and then looks at you, and she looks immediately to Jen and just goes.
And with that, I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
I'll even bow before I leave, and then
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm gonna head out to the docks.
Okay. Roll sneak. Let's just see how well.
Yeah,
this is going for
you're
you.
right. I would try to sneak out
Yeah.
to the docks exactly.
At least your
17.
hair
Okay.
looks different now.
Oh, I'm clean too.
You venture out. You go out the front door. You kind of look around. Again, the streets are still bustling. Tons of people going to and fro. You think it's probably best to kind of like go down the back alleys still, kind of stay out of it, even though you truly believe that you're a new looking man, that this haircut the old Otis is gone, that this is a new person.
It's the new dirt banger.
You're completely convinced that that's the case. That you're able to kind of get down to the docks relatively without any issues, where you kind of look around again, it's kind of filled with sailors and a lot of the barges coming in. Most of them are in port. And you see down at the bottom corner is kind of like Rev, kind of like toying with something, has his back towards you, and it passed out Skag, who's just like,
I want to sneak up on Rev.
roll sneak.
6.
Roll awareness, Rev.
Okay.
I rolled 2 6s there.
I just rolled a 20.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
son of a
you tried.
bitch.
You tried to sneak up against Rev as you slowly kind of almost like, yeah, like cat-like prowl. You literally just trip and boom, right on the ground, and Rev hears this.
I turn and I go, nice haircut. And I go back to what I was doing.
How do I look? How do I look?
Actually, roll deception, Otis.
For
I want
me?
to see. I want to
Oh,
know
Otis.
for Otis. I want to see if he's, even though you fall down. Does the haircut do enough that he doesn't notice it's you?
Deception?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, he knows it's you. Yeah, that haircut did nothing for you. Made you more like aerodynamic, but that's about it.
Yeah. I think I have to say you might want to, get a hat or something. Maybe change clothes because just a haircut's not going to do it.
It will grow back.
Yeah, you're trying to be in disguise. Like I don't feel like you understand what disguise means.
No, I do. You
Okay.
saw the picture of me on the sign. They're looking for what I did look like. Look how dapper I am. I'm all clean. I'm good to go. Nobody would recognize me.
I could recognize you with one glance.
You heard me when I fell.
Wait. Can you please tell me that fall woke me up?
It did not.
No.
No, you have so much alcohol in you, you're passed out. Roll awareness though at disadvantage, Skag.
But I'm passed out.
Yeah, but roll awareness at disadvantage.
I rolled an 8.
Yeah. Trickles of like words start to take over your dreams, and you can just see, you can see Rev and Otis kind of like dancing across, and you kind of hear, "I'm dapper. I'm a new man."
Out loud in my sleep, I just want to go, yeah, you're dapper.
You gotta hear. That's what you gotta hear. You're like, "Yeah, you're dapper."
It's like and
We both
Rev just
catch him,
says,
right?
Yeah,
"Dude, you know,
you gotta hear it. He just kind of like,
like he's in his sleep and he can recognize you, man.
What's
You
wrong
gotta,
with this guy?
you gotta do better with this guys. Change your clothes or something, man."
I don't have any money.
Okay, you just made bank. Here, this is a good time. I am now going to give the nets, the smoke grenades, the new scope. I'm gonna it's like Christmas Day for Otis here. And then I transfer over.
Roll deception, Otis.
15?
For a second, when he says, "I don't have any money," you actually check to see, did I transfer him money?
Well, I haven't yet, so am I like thinking?
Yeah, he didn't transfer it to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
didn't?
you did.
No.
Yeah,
I thought he did.
No, yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
only
because you were
transferred
in
it
the
to
tub.
Skag.
I thought it was only to
gotcha.
Skag.
No, because
Okay.
he had the same exact amount, and then you had even said his thing dinged.
Yeah, I thought you said that it
Well,
was just Skag that you're doing that.
No, I
Okay.
purposefully meant to only give Skag his stuff,
Gotcha,
so I
okay.
could give Otis the nets
Okay.
and the grenades and
So
everything.
yeah,
the same.
with that, yeah, he does. You do kind of give him the
Okay.
money at this point.
Speaking
as
of
well as
money,
his items.
so I do transfer over. Let's see, for Otis, since he hasn't paid for the booze, the wasteland fuel, he gets, 41.90 plus 12.50. You get 54.20. There's your payday, sir.
now you
And you
Yeah, now
and you
you get
gave
a
me. Yeah, I got my ding.
you get the ding now. There you go.
You handed me all the grenades, the nets,
Yeah, I gave you
and
nets,
the scope.
smoke grenades, and a scope is what I handed to you.
And Shog gets the same kind of scope as before, just the generic.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Nothing's-
gotcha.
I
nothing
also
special.
say, once we get this wasteland fuel, that's coming out of your paycheck.
Are we working for that?
Yeah, he's probably still going to make us pay for it.
Well, then what?
Yeah, listen,
That's a lot of work.
listen. I'm not a negotiator. If you want to talk to him later, maybe
I'll
you can.
talk to him.
Okay. Rev doesn't want to be in charge of the money anymore because he kind of knows he got a raw deal on the wasteland fuel. So
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, with that, what do you guys want to do with Skag here?
Well-
go ahead.
I feel like at this point we should probably start planning what we want to do to get this, Boral Prime. So like, I say to Otis, hey, can you wake up Skag? Can you I don't know, breathe your breath?
I'm
on
gonna
him?
walk right over to Skag, and I'm gonna kick him in the
You
ribs as
breathe
hard as I
your
can.
breath on him.
You know, his fiery breath from the
Beef jerky.
he always eats.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like one of those smelling salts.
Yeah. Only
No, I
it's,
want
you know,
to kick. I want to
burning.
kick Skag right in the ribs
Okay.
to wake him up.
Go ahead and go
Strength.
ahead and do strength. Yeah.
That's a 12.
Okay. Well, if advantage, he's not moving. He's not defending. He's just passed out.
Still a 12.
Okay.
I had an 8.
Roll your Constitution again, Skag. Let's just see if you're feeling any of this. How gone are you gone?
Apparently very gone. I only have I rolled a 1, so
So he gives you a swift kick in the side, and you just kind of like,
it wakes me up.
nope.
No, I'm still out. Damn.
I look at Rev. I'm like, come on.
All right. One last thing. Do you have any of that jerky left?
Oh yeah, I got plenty.
All right. Put it in his mouth. That'll wake him up.
I feel like the past 2 weeks we've been trying to put meat in this guy's mouth.
Well,
All right,
Sounds
I'm
like a
gonna
normal
reach into
Friday
my-
night for me.
the new Friday night. I'm gonna reach in the bag. I'm gonna grab 2 pieces. I'm gonna shove it down in his mouth.
Okay.
both in his mouth. Okay.
Okay. Are you going? You're going to attempt to have him chew it? Is that
Actually, I like this better.
sure?
I'm gonna take a piece and give him a piece, like we're dining together.
Okay. So yeah, you
Eh, Is
attempt
it?
to,
Assume it's just sitting there in his mouth because it's like, oh, he's
Yeah.
laying there
that's
like
what I'm
that.
just saying. Are you
I'm
trying
gonna
to
take
like?
his head. I'm gonna take his head and like make him
Take
chew.
his jaw and make
Yeah.
him chew it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you start to have him chew, Skag, you're again, little Otis and little Rev, dancing in a field. I'm dapper. I can.
Rev
You should-
doing his weird flirting technique.
Rev just kind of.
I'm dapper.
He kind of looks at you. He actually, in your dream, you're just kind of like, it's like this hallucinogenic, like LSD trip, and you kind of look at him, and then Rev turns to you, and he goes, "Sneak like a gazelle, gazelle," and you just feel like your stomach just goes, "Woo, woo," and it just feels like somebody just put one of those smoke grenades in your gut. And
And you hear
Let it
Red's voice
go.
go, "The fire has hit the fan."
in your head, it starts to go. You hear that little sound, that little flood warning sound from Ryan's phone. It goes, "Brr, brr,"
The last thing I hear is, yeah, that girl's not even worth it.
and it you're having flashbacks of those guys trying punching you in your stomach, and you're just thinking, why is my oh. Are you roll
Wait, please tell
awareness?
me-
Roll
wait,
awareness.
Because I want to react to. I want to react to.
roll
Otis.
awareness. Otis.
Otis.
Oh, Otis.
16.
Okay. You start to see him just go. And it's enough for you to kind of move away as he just vomits just tons and tons all of just
All
all,
blue.
of all the blue.
All I care about is
blue
dodging
ale
the vomit.
and ale and stuff, and just chunks of this beef jerky that hadn't been
gonna
digested.
I'm gonna shout, "Watch the disguise, Jesus!"
You kind of
just-
you kind of come to see Otis, kind of like with a grin and yelling, "Watch the disguise!" and stuff.
I immediately want to panic because I don't realize it's Otis and try to slap him and just in like Batman-esque just go, "Who are you?"
Okay. Well, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your athletics. Let's just see how fast you're gonna do this.
I rolled a 12.
Roll athletics as well.
13.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You go to slap him, and he just knocks your hand out of the way, just like
I still want to yell at them like, "Who are you?" and just point at him.
yeah. He's completely just because you're coming out. Essentially, this is like the ultimate hangover remover.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So-
ultimate hangover remover.
Yeah, he's just like, but coming out of it initially, it's just blurred vision all over. You just see 5 of these Otises like sitting in front of you, and they're all just kind of like.
It's all like bald men in front of me that I haven't seen
Then you
before.
yeah, exactly. He's actually bald, so you didn't know this is the new Otis.
That was the whole point. That's why I was like trying to slap and go, "Who are you?"
Rev's just watching, by the way. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just standing back.
Well,
Go back to
yeah.
my crossword.
Oh, you just vomited.
Yeah, he just puked up all the alcohol that was essentially in him, and you kind of like come to your senses and see that it's Otis, who's now
I'm gonna
newly
kneel
bald,
down by him.
who's
Yeah,
newly bald.
I'm gonna kneel down by Skag.
Okay.
Good stuff, huh?
You don't exactly know what he gave you.
No, I just want
Yeah.
to cough and just go. You might want to get some clothes. You look the same.
Rev
Rev
says,
said that
I told
too."
you. I told you. Okay, so now that we're all awake, Rev's like, okay, let's get down to business. We need to plan our heist.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to take a look at Skag, who has vomit all over himself.
I just plopped down. Now I'm not hungover now. I just feel like shit because that.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. He just feels like trash. He's horrible.
What exactly did Remo say? We had to kill, or there's chance of having to take someone out?
No, he said there is an escort, like a major escort, that is going to be escorting either a train shipment or a overland shipment.
What Marvin is supposed to get us a hold of us. Let us know.
Yeah, I still think we should have an idea of a plan of how to take it out. If it's a train, do we sneak onto the train? If
Or
it's
we could boom
overland,
it. We could boom it
boom the train.
off the tracks.
Wait, guys, I'm about to boom. I'm still throwing up that jerky, man.
Rev just like hands you his water.
Drink that. Drink it.
I just down it.
You
Give it right back. I give it back, and there's like little pieces of vomit on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and I throw it away. I just immediately throw it away.
Skag, I need you to get serious. Got a lot of booze on the line.
This is true. What do we do, boys?
All right, how would we boom a train?
The tracks.
We take out the tracks.
Beat the train to wherever it's going. We set them up on the tracks. Boom. Kill the engine. Stop it in its tracks.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Do you think that will take out the whole train and we'll have big boom? Because Remo won't be too happy about that.
If we
Yeah.
get the front engine, it should be enough to at least stop it, if not fully, enough to where we can climb aboard without damaging the main cargo.
Okay, now I suspect that they suspect they're waiting for this here in Canberra. Who's it going to piss off if this train doesn't come here?
What if we did it more surreptitiously? And I look at Skag and say, sneakily.
And I'm gonna look at Otis and be like, he's been hitting on me all day. You hear that?
What if we were able to get
a
on the
robot.
train, remove the Boral Prime without the train ever being stopped? What if we just
How?
removed it that way? It gets there, and then they're none the wiser until they open the crates.
That sounds amazing, but how? I can't fly.
Well, we have our motor tracks. Maybe we can come up along the train, get inside. I have a data link and a data jack now. I can hack into systems easier. I got a plasma cutter. I have ways to get inside now.
If we can find a tall mountain that overlooks the tracks, we could get parachutes and base jump it.
No.
Yeah, I'm made of.
Sounds dangerous.
I don't think I would fly very well.
Oh, that's
I don't
right. You're
want
made
to
of metal.
fly.
Makes sense. Sorry, I just woke.
Yeah, he's still kind of like feeling it.
Okay. Well, what if it's overland? What if it's a convoy that we need to hit?
Is there any stops? I think he said there was a couple stops along the way. What if we just got on the train at one of the stops?
Well, if it's a train, I think that's a good plan.
I mean, you could do that thing you do where you disappear and we lose you. But that
Yeah.
doesn't really help me and Skag here. I mean, Skag can't do much sneakily.
I got an idea. Get on that train. I'll cause a distraction. Otis, you should have been there. Maybe they'll stop the train for a second.
I
Rev's
look
like,
at him.
that's not a bad idea.
Even Rev kind of likes it.
If I can get on that train and cause a distraction enough that they need to stop it to throw me off, it gives you guys a short time to get on.
Okay, I got it.
And
We
then
cause a
I'll
dis-
find a mountain and base jump back to you guys.
Except for that last part. If you can cause a distraction, I can get into where the Boral Prime is. I can cut away a side of the train, and Otis can come up beside with our tracks, and we can transfer it out without them knowing, and then we get off.
I get to drive the tracks? Yeah.
That's what I think we could do. If I can sneak to where this Boral Prime is while you cause a distraction, he's on the tracks to the side. We transfer it off. They never know until they hit Canberra, and by then we're long gone. What do you guys
That
think?
sounds good. I'm into that.
Aye, aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye.
Yarr.
On that note, I threw up everything in my stomach. I need to go get some more food real quick. And I'm going to run right back to the shop real quick and get that
Okay.
special that they have.
Yeah, as Skag, you walk back over there, you do notice that there's like 3 or 4 guys who are like now in line, and they're kind of like, "Listen, man, we shouldn't fight about women anymore." And it's like the 2 guys that were like fighting you, and they're just like all bruised up and they're like bloody, and they're just kind of like, "I'm sorry, man." They're like hugging it out, and you just kind of like with that, you slide in front of them to take the orders. They're just like, they're like, "It's okay, man, you can go."
I don't know what's going on with those guys, but I would like 3 fish platters, please.
Whatever the special is, and
Yep.
they give it to you. That'll be another 6 checks, and you just get some kind of like it's like some kind of fish platter sandwich or something like that. Nothing really fancy. It's all battered.
My jerky's so good it makes you buy more food.
And you just kind of like you wait about a couple minutes, and they bring it up to you.
I'm just going to scarf them down at that point. I'm just going to scarf them down and watch the guys hugging.
Yeah, they're
Just
just
to
go-
see what's going on.
yeah, they're just like hugging, and they're like, it goes, "Listen, man, no, this one's on me. I'm buying for no,
As
I'm
I'm
buying
eating
it for you."
In the back of my head, I keep thinking, should I start it over again with these guys? As each fight, I'm just, maybe.
With Otis and Rev, what are you guys doing? Skag has just gone down. He's not very far away. He went to go get food.
I think we're just hashing out the details of the plan.
So
Okay.
our motor trike is empty, right? Like we're not really carrying anything besides.
There is the Phyllium because we didn't sell the Phyllium because
well,
it was a bad price.
The problem is we haven't really discussed what you've been doing with the Phyllium this whole time.
No, I think we discussed that we weren't going to let them hold on to it.
Well,
yeah, but where did you leave it, Rev?
I had taken the tracks in there to sell it, so I sold the Phyllium. I would have said I just parked the tracks at the. I guess I would have parked it either at the market where I had unloaded and loaded the other stuff, or at the bar that we were at. So, I guess I don't know exactly what I did with it. I never said.
Yeah, I have to say you never said. Did you? Let's just say that you just parked on the side of Caslin Currencies.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes more sense.
for
Yeah.
the sake
Sure.
of it. And you just told them that you're going to leave it here as you go take care of things. And
Okay,
they were
sure.
more than complimentary. They did tell you that it'll probably cost you like 5 checks to make sure that it's going to be watched over
Sure.
for you.
I will deduct 5 checks from my money to cover parking and
Parking
concierge.
and yes, protection and storage.
There we go.
You get a ding on all of yours sidekicks. Incoming message.
This is Rev.
You get a message from Marvin. It says incoming message. Would you like to accept?
Accept.
Yep. Except
Marvin gets on there and just goes, "We got information. It's going to be on a mono."
perfect.
Have you decided how you guys want to do this?
We have a plan. Do you want to meet us to go over this plan?
He goes, "That's more than fine. Where would you like to meet at?"
Currencies.
Yeah. Meet us by the motor tracks over by Caslin Currencies.
He goes, "I'll be there soon. Give me about 5 minutes."
And I'm also on the line, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna be there too in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna finish up my food here real quick. Cause I want to watch the guys argue and or love it out for a while.
Silence.
I guess I'm
no
just-
response.
Yeah, I'm just tending to the motor trike.
The motor tracks.
Yeah, well,
The hover
Hanging
track
out
is what
by it.
you left out in the.
yeah, the hover tracks. My fault. Motor tracks. I want to hang out by it.
So you guys go back into Camp Barron itself,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to Caslin Currencies, so you can beat them. Exactly, right? Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
The group that you were kind of like watching, Skag, they just buy each other food and kind of go on their way, and you do kind of notice that they're going towards the ships, so they're obviously sailors on some of these barges, and they seem to be of the same crew, as they all kind of get on the same barge, and kind of like you guess that they probably have like kind of living arrangements on the barge itself.
At that point, I want to finish the rest of my meal and get up. And as I'm walking over, I'm gonna leave and go to the currencies. Under my breath, though, I just kind of want to say, no wonder they're fighting over a girl. I would too if I was on a boat with men all day.
That's very true. Everybody roll awareness at disadvantage.
Well, I got a 1.
8.
Oh shoot! I already know I have a 1 too. Yeah.
Okay. As you're kind of like sitting in front of Caslin Currencies off next to the trike that's been sitting there. I'm sorry, the motor tracks that's been sitting there, with your 2 cases of Phyllium that's on there. You don't even notice Marvin as he kind of comes up behind you, and he merely says, "How are we going to pull this off?" And you kind of hear like this voice from behind you. You don't even know. You guys aren't even aware enough to know when I'm even here. Your
I'm
head
not turning around though.
Wait, am I even there yet?
No,
Yeah,
it's just me and Rev.
You're kind of coming up.
Well, I had a 1, so do I even hear him say that? Or...
You hear him, but you have like no idea where this is kind of coming from.
Okay. All right. Well, I look around. Who said that?
And it's Marvin who's kind of like sitting on the back of the motor tracks on that sled bed. He's just kind of sitting there and he's kind of like wrapping his fingers on top of your crates of Phyllium.
Wow, you have some quiet steps, sir.
He goes, in this business, we have to be like shadows.
Well, you might be able to help us with our plan to get this Boral Prime then, because we have a plan.
And what is it?
Our plan. You said it's on a what'd you call it?
It's coming in on the mono.
The mono. I have plasma cutter, data jack, data link. My plan is to get me and Skag onto the train. He causes a distraction that stops the train. I get in there, cut away out the side of the train, and transfer it to our motor tracks to Otis here.
At this point, Skag, you've heard some of this, and you
I
kind
want to look at Marvin though and just go, "Oh, that's where I know you from. You're from the bar earlier." And just point at him.
he kind of looks at you and he just goes, "Yeah, Mr. Obvious.
Hey,
Top of the line observation skills here. We should do
don't
well."
make me spank you again.
How are you going to get on this mono?
There are multiple stops. We believe. What's his face
there are
said.
two from Overton Hill out to the Cambaron drop off. There are two. That's even
say-
if they're active. That means if they have anything to pick up during that time. We
Okay.
don't know if that's going to be the case or not.
Well, we want to get on the first stop that is active. So I guess I can try to get. Can you get Remo to find out if they're going to stop at either of those stops, or is that classified? He can't even get.
I can see if we can get that information. My question is how are you going to get on that stop? This isn't passengers. This is cargo.
Well,
Well,
what do you got,
Oh,
Otis?
both of you.
Rev he's got magic.
Magic. Looks at Rev.
He could disappear.
It's true. I can get on with my Mirage. Skag to get the distraction. I don't know how he would get on.
That
Unless
could
he,
be the
poses-
distraction. They won't let him on.
That's true. If he can distract them at the stop, that might get me the time to get on, get in, and cut my way in. That could be our point. One stop, one entrance and exit.
Okay, let's say that you do get on. How are you going to get this Boral Prime off?
I have a Data Jack 1000 and a Data Link 2200 to hack me into the
Whatever security is there,
security,
of course.
and then I have a plasma cutter to get it out the side of the train. That's my plan.
So we're gonna boost this in transit, and you're gonna cut a big, gigantic, gaping hole out of the side, and then what are you going to do with this Boral Prime?
Put it
We're
on the
gonna-
motor track.
Yeah, we're gonna have
You
him
understand
on the.
that the mono is 15 feet off the ground? Are you just shoving this out and hoping that the gentlemen catch it?
How heavy is a case of Boral
30
Prime?
gallons.
Well,
We're
they're in
dealing-
1
we're-
gallon.
We're dealing in gallons here, so we're probably sitting over maybe 100, 150 pounds apiece.
150 pounds for a gallon of Boral Prime. That's some dense stuff. Well, you're an expert in this. Do you have a better way where we can transport this stuff quickly and quietly out the side of this thing?
Well, I wouldn't have cut a hole into the side of it and start shoving stuff out.
Then what would you do?
That's not my job.
I thought Remo said you'd give us any assistance you could
I can give
provide.
you assistance and provide you with information.
This
I'll
guy's
help you
worthless,
on
Rev.
this.
We should drop him already.
But I do believe that this is your guys' job, and you guys said that you had a plan
That was our plan.
to do that.
We
Okay.
we could blow the mono off the track.
Yeah, that'll work. Right? You should keep this guy. You should like keep this guy in a closet or something.
All right. Well, what if we got some very sturdy rope? What do you call rope that's made of metal?
Cable.
Cable.
Yeah. What if I offloaded it with cable, lowered it down to Otis, and he loads it onto the tracks? I don't think a hole is going to be noticed if it's just a small hole on the side just to get these pieces out.
Why don't you just detach the cart?
I was gonna say that, man.
I think that's going to be more noticed in Canberra than a hole in the side of the entire cart.
But by the time they notice, we'll be long gone.
He actually,
won't
he actually
notice
points to him and just goes,
By the time they hit their next stop is when they'll notice.
How are they going to not notice a whole cart of their metro is missing?
Part of their train's gone.
Most cargo ships aren't run like passenger ships with a bunch of people walking up and down. Their main focus is getting from A to B. So we just detach it and we bring it to C.
he kind of looks and like he's hesitant, and he's not happy about this. He just goes, your friend has a point.
I finger gun him again.
So
here's my thing is you want to boost it in transit. You want to remove all the contents, well, essentially the 30 gallons of the Boral Prime with a big hole. So what's the difference if that doesn't show up next to a big hole where this stuff is not there either?
Well, the difference is that if there is a single car in the middle of other cars, I don't know how the four of us are going to remove one giant car, reconnect it without anybody noticing.
Why would we need to reconnect? Okay, Rev, this is what we could do. Hop on, detach from where it is. Even if they were to notice, they would have to stop transit and somehow manage to get back. By that time, though, we would have time to get it out.
I like to cut the whole idea.
I mean, if I cut a hole, I can put the piece that I cut back. Glue exists, you know.
I don't know why we're so worried about if this cargo gets to Canberra realistically or not. We're here for one thing.
Yeah, the longer it takes them to realize that this stuff is missing, the less traceable it is back to Remo. And that's the whole reason we're doing this quietly.
If that's the case, then if that's what you guys decide, then we'll figure out how to do this. A hole in the side is just as, hey, look, something happened, as us removing the whole thing. But to me, it's however you guys want to play it. I will assist you in whatever I can do.
All right,
I will make sure that I get the information exactly. Maybe I can...
Where's the drop-off?
The drop-off is always here in Canberra. You have issues with listening, don't you, sir?
No, the drop-off for Remo.
We can, once that...
We're bringing this. It's
once
coming to
that is
Canberra,
taken-
but we're bringing
once
it back.
that is taken care of, we will figure out the drop.
Gotcha.
all right. Well, I've told you my plan. I'll let you guys decide if you want to remove a whole cart or just a hole in the side of the track, a hole in the side of the train. I think that's less conspicuous, but we can try to remove a whole car from an entire train track if you guys think that's more successful.
I'm with Rev.
Okay. If that's the case, then that is completely fine. What I could do is we can assure that there is going to be a stop. How about that? And find a way to get you guys on board. Maybe we can create a pickup and sneak you guys both on board, and maybe
Well,
some of the
wait.
cargo.
Sorry. If if we're not going to stop the train, then oh no, because I need to get you on. Never mind. Continue.
Well, I
They-
thought Skag was going to be the distraction while I get on and remove.
Yeah, no, I thought the distraction was to stop the whole thing. Um, Initially, I was thinking something completely different, and that's why I was like in my head, I was like, well, if we're just going to cut a hole, there's no need for me to distract anything. But now I remember it's to get you on.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's going to
That's
take
what-
time for me to get on,
Mhm.
get in, open a hole, and remove this stuff. So we need a distraction to keep it stopped.
Oh, okay. I completely understand. All right, then that's fine. We can see about getting that done. Where would you like to?
Oh, completely stop. Okay. That's why I also was in the same boat where I was like in transit, it would be easier to just detach it, you know.
You're
But if it's
trying
all
to
stopped.
completely
Alright.
get this stopped.
Yeah, we're trying to, while it's at the stop, have Skag distract them, keep them from moving the train, cause whatever distraction, while I mirage in, get in, cut a hole, throw it out the side, all while everything is still stopped.
Okay.
All right, and we can
Then I
put
mosey
that
away.
together. We can put that
I'm in,
together.
I'm in for this plan now that I know it's not.
What we could do is we can acquire a growler, which is you guys, especially Rev. You know, a growler is kind of like an all-terrain, like armored personnel carrier that's made to
Okay.
actually be. It's actually kind of like stripped down a bit so it can be super quick, and it's actually fitted with some kind of light weapons and some cable guns.
Nice.
That you can actually be able to just get it and get out, and you can go through like the forests and the heavy terrain in order to kind of get away. He goes, maybe that'll be easier to than trying to throw it on a motor tracks, which isn't exactly quick.
I like that idea. That's quicker in and out is going to be better.
I'll
Okay.
drive it.
I'll drive it.
Why? It's yours.
Let's just say that I trust my driving more than yours.
All right, I'm with you then.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're-
Otis, you'll be in charge of the loading that I'll be throwing down, that I'll be lowering down to you from the train.
Well, we can definitely use the grapple gun. Maybe you can fire up there, and we can grapple these crates and swing them down.
Yeah, what I can do is if you grapple up, I can get cable, put it over the line, and let it zip down. We basically zip line this down to you.
Sure, if that's going to be the case, do you mind if I make a request? I think that would be easier to make sure this goes much more smoothly.
Sure, what's your request?
Maybe your friend here, the butt slapper, should be the one who's actually catching this since he's much bigger. Maybe make the other guy be the distraction.
Ah.
We're talking about swinging something that is about 15 feet up, that is over 150 pounds, probably coming down at probably like 5, 6, 7 miles an hour. I'm not sure your friend here is going to have that he's not physically capable of dealing with this. Just
Otis, Skag, what
just,
do you guys think?
to be quicker.
I'll do the distraction. I have no problem with that.
Makes sense. I am pretty big.
Otis, remember distraction means not blowing up the entire train, though.
Can I threaten him?
The distraction's completely up to you. I'll leave that.
Yeah,
up to you.
I mean, as long as you don't blow them up, do whatever you got to do to keep them there.
Bomb threats usually work.
I don't want to do that.
Because merely if you want, I'm just merely making a suggestion. It may be quicker. Obviously, the big guy would be able to move the cargo quicker. This is heavy
I think
stuff. It's dense.
I think that's good. Skag, he's got the beef.
Yeah. Is that fair?
Okay.
Should we do that?
Okay. I'll
I
do the
do-
distraction.
Yeah, and before we leave, I do want to go buy cable because I didn't do that on my earlier list. So I would need to make sure I stop by and buy some cabling
Okay.
that would be able to hold on to 150 pounds of
So
stuff.
what you're trying to get a hold of is again they have like really heavy duty grappling guns that are on there, but they obviously with just regular kind of like rope. You want obviously kind of like if you can find high tension cable
Yeah, high tension cable, basically. Yeah.
Okay. With that, he says that's completely fine. How about we just meet in the morning, and we'll get it out. We'll make sure that we're able to hack the logs, create a stop, gives us an opening to get this taken care of.
We're on the same page, sir.
Okay. Everybody roll awareness really quick, please.
15.
5.
16.
Okay. Otis is kind of like he's really kind of taken in by it. He's happy that he's gonna be the guy to create the distraction. But Skag and Rev, you do notice that the across the street are the two gentlemen.
Okay.
Oh, but I didn't notice them before. So it's just like my first time, like.
But you noticed them in the bar though.
Oh, okay.
And when they actually you didn't see them when they came out, but you noticed
No.
that it's those guys
Okay.
that he made reference to before. With that, Marvin just goes, "I'll make sure I contact you in the morning. Just be ready. We'll get the growler ready. Go ahead and see if you can get anyone to make the cabling, and we'll ensure that there's going to be a stop for us to get on."
Rev says to Marvin, I think the three of us need to be out of this town tonight. We're drawing too much attention. Don't look now behind you, Otis, but our friends from the bar are nearby. So I think we need to get out of town and not spend the night here.
Rev, I have an idea. I stand in front of you, block you, you mirage. They don't see it. Maybe you can go up from behind them and find out who they are.
Find out who they are. From Mirage, I can try to take him out, but I don't know how I would find out who they are.
I mean, like, interrogate.
Listen to them talk or something.
Oh, like,
yeah,
I could
that too.
okay.
Yeah, like eavesdrop something. Yeah, and if I'm blocking you, they won't, be able to see you mirage. Yeah, so.
Would you like to try to do that?
Yeah, we can try that.
Roll deception.
Me or Skag?
Skag.
Okay.
15.
You slide in front of Rev, successfully blocking him. Rev goes into Mirage and disappears.
Okay. And that uses 1 exhaust. Okay. So I am going
Marvin sees this and just goes,
okay.
I think that's my cue to leave. I'll see you. I'll contact you in the morning, gentlemen.
Watch your butt, Marvin.
And with that, he literally almost kind of like disappears into the shadows.
Okay. Rev is going to behind the trikes to make sure his Mirage is successfully blocking him. Tries to sneak around behind the two guys who we recognize from the bar and try to get close enough to hear if they're saying anything.
Okay. You notice, before you do that, what is Skag and what is Otis doing?
I'm sitting there, talking to Skag about.
So you're trying to kind of carry on the illusion a little bit here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe give them the illusion that both Marvin and him went off their own way, while we stay here to chat.
Rev, as you venture across the street in Mirage, when you see people, it's almost like, especially in Mirage, it's almost like a shadow world kind of feeling that you're in.
Okay.
But everything, especially when you're in Mirage and you're trying to listen in, you have a heightened sense of things when you're focused on one thing.
Okay.
And you're able to slide behind them, kind of duck out of the way into the darkness of a back alley, where they're kind of propped up against one of the doors, and you start to hear him just go, "Yeah, he's the one. He's the one we've been looking for." And the other guy just goes, "Well, there's a problem. I can't see where his other friend went." He just goes, "Which one?" you know, the cyborg. He goes, he was there and now he's gone. And he just here and there he just goes, don't worry about it. Our job is to get this guy. He goes, call Therese. Tell him we got eyes on this guy. If we have to, we'll take him down tonight. That's okay.
And while they're talking, I'm slowly moving closer. I want to. I don't want to try to kill these guys in the middle of the town. I know that's just going to cause more trouble.
Yeah, because we're in neutral territory.
Yeah. What I would like to do is my new ability, Splitting Image. I'd like to create a holograph image of myself,
Okay.
like appearing from the opposite side of where I am to grab their attention.
Okay.
And then from behind, I want to try to take my my naginata, and I want to, if they're close enough, get around both their necks. Is what I want to do.
Okay. Well, they're propped up against the wall, so their backs are up against the wall, and you're kind of like angled to one side of them. The guy
okay.
who's talking, like obviously in the lower register, is the Soldarin. So he's
Okay.
obviously he's like eight or so feet up.
Okay.
So you would have to kind of. The other guy is a smaller human who's probably sitting around like 5'5", or something
Okay.
like that, with kind of like a heavy, scruffy beard.
Okay. Well, I want to try to incapacitate them without killing them. Is what I'd like to do.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a way that I could do that with my current tools.
Okay. Well, either way, are you going to do splitting image?
Yeah, I would like to use Splitting Image as a distraction while I get advantage for trying to
Okay.
knock these guys out.
So you drop out of Mirage, obviously,
Mhm.
and you do splitting image, and what they do is they see you just kind of like emerge and manifest right in front of them,
Okay.
standing in the middle of the street, kind of like staring at them. And the other guy just goes, "Oh shit, man!" He goes, "Like he was there, and then he wasn't there." And the guy's kind of like looking off. He's trying to contact Trace. He goes, "Who are you talking about?" He goes, "His friend. Look at him." And the guy kind of like looks up, and he's like, "Therese, we might have a problem here."
Okay. I'm trying to disable them before
Right.
they make any more
They are
communications
100% fixated on your image.
on my Mirage, right? Okay. So I want to try to maybe make a strength or athletics check to try to knock out the one who's trying to contact their friend, which is, I guess, the Soldarin.
The Soldarin. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead and try to make an attack against him.
Okay.
At advantage.
At advantage.
We're
so
just gonna
that'd
do
be
we're just gonna do a regular attack because you're just
regular-
trying to hit the guy.
sure. D6 at advantage.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Oh,
Okay. As you kind of go forward to try to like make this kind of attack, to just kind of like use probably like the back of your staff to hit him in the back, try to knock him out. You step on something that makes an immediate snapping sound, and you kind of take a look, and it's kind of it's a glass.
Oh,
some
great.
kind of like tubing that was just like laying there that you weren't paying attention to, and it cracks and snap, and immediately when it does that, your splitting image dissipates, and they all kind of like turn to see what it is, where they kind of now are looking. Well, at least the Soldarin has turned and is trying to get a look of what it was.
Well, I failed my attack, so I would like to try again, but I don't know if I can still try to subdue this
do
person.
we see this happening?
You both have. I'm guessing Skag.
Skag knew.
Skag would have kind of seen it.
I feel like I would have been on
Backus
alert.
turn?
Yeah, you
My
would
back.
have. You've been at Otis. You're kind of like carrying on this kind of conversation. If you want to
About
roll
jerky.
awareness, you can take a look and see if you would have been able to see this as well.
So mid conversation about my jerky cell, I'm gonna turn around to take a look to see what's going on,
Sure, roll awareness.
and it's a 19.
Yeah, you absolutely 100% see what is going on, and you see them turn. Essentially, the Saldaran turns, and he's trying to get a beat on Rev, who's now behind them.
I'm gonna lunge towards them and
You'd have to-
shout,
you'd have to-
"Skag!"
You'd have to rush across the street to do it. He's on the other side of the street.
Yeah, I want to lunge. Basically, yeah, try to do that.
Okay. So
The
you
second I see him do that, I'm gonna do the same thing and lunge with him.
Okay. So
Well, I'm like shouting your name as I'm doing
yeah.
it. Skag!
okay. As the Saldaran turns to see Rev, and has his back turns, both of you guys roll athletics really quick. Let's see how fast you get across there.
18.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. Skag, you kind of get caught up in some of the traffic. There's obviously some motor tracks that are kind of coming through, and as you go to run, one kind of like stops and like it's like, dude, what are you doing, man?
It's like the streets of India.
Yeah.
Just cars everywhere. I'm like,
With that-
no.
It's this one as well is kind of hooked to a trailer. Otis kind of like leaps over it and lunges towards the Saldaran or the human.
The human.
Okay. Yeah, the human is trying to go around and take a look. He's actually kind of like walking around to see what was actually back there, and you can kind of see that he's got like this big, like gigantic, like titanium hammer that he's like kind of pulling up to try to wield.
I want to like lunge punch him.
Okay. Roll. We're gonna roll two things. Roll. Number 1, athletics.
12.
Okay. And roll an attack with advantage because he's not seeing you.
5.
As he kind of comes around and he's gonna kind of unveil this hammer to see what was there. You just kind of like, you tell me how you're trying to stop this guy from doing what he's doing without bringing attention to yourself.
I'm gonna punch him right. I'm gonna lunge at him, and I'm gonna try to land my punch into his gut to try to take the wind out of him.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
As you do that, you kind of run up. The guy who's pulling out the hammer, you kind of grab his hand, spin him around, and just using your body to kind of shield this, you just land a shot right in his solar plex. And you hear him just go,
Shut up! Shut up!
with that, the Saldaran turns to like, whoa, to see what was that as he sees his friend slumped over and the face of Otis right there just going, shut up. Skag, you're able to get past. This is what you're kind of seeing. Rev and Skag, what are you trying to do at that point?
If I'm now behind the Soldarian who's looking at Otis, I want to try to this time. I do want to try to get my Naginata around the neck to pull him into the alleyway away from all the traffic.
Okay. With that, I'm going to say that you have no problems getting in around him, as
Okay.
Skag is starting to make a charge towards him as well. And Skag, what are you doing? You actually see him go to restrain him, and you see that that Otis has done something to incapacitate the other gentleman.
So one's incapacitated and the other one is being held up by
being restrained and
sword
pulled
point.
away. Yeah.
At this point, I'm just gonna run up, but I'm gonna, I guess, just stop right there. Kind of try to block with my body and just look at Rev and just go, "Guess I'm too late for the party."
The guy starts to. Do you have it across his throat?
Yeah, I have the Naginata kind of like in a chokehold
Okay.
on the Saldarian.
Okay.
Saldaran.
As you kind of do it, you're having some problems trying to keep it on there.
Okay.
Just because he's so tall.
Okay.
But you're slowly trying to like pull him. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Okay.
See if you can continue to.
I
restrain.
have strength, so can I do it
Okay,
advantage?
You do it at advantage.
Okay.
If you want, would you
I rolled a 17.
Okay, I was gonna say that you could get some help from Skag, but yeah, with no problem, you kind of.
But I don't need it.
You kind of get this guy, and you actually just kind of almost like take him off his feet and kind of drag him. And he's like,
Nice.
"Ugh,
And I say to Otis, bring the human into the alleyway. They're tracking you.
And I want to grab him, so I
yeah,
I
he's,
kind of
he's
have
almost
control.
like he's almost like completely out.
Yeah.
He's become like dead weight.
Oh, I'm gonna crutch him, but like have his arm behind his back twisted,
Okay.
and I'm gonna bring him into the alley. Where
Okay. Skag, do you kind of like help him continue to keep blocking? Just kind of like,
Yeah, and well, at this
nothing's
point,
happening.
once they're dragged into the alley where it's like more narrow, I'm gonna stand like right at the front, so passersby
Yeah.
can't get
Sure.
a good look.
Nice.
Not
nice.
a problem. With
Well,
Skag,
well,
with
well.
Skag, yeah, Skag's big frame, he can obviously help shield some of it. It makes it kind of like look like it's just a couple drunk guys, or little altercations. You kind of like drag them off to the side.
But I do want to be facing though away from them,
Sure. Okay.
just so like I can keep an eye out on the street.
Okay. With that, what do you guys want to do with these two guys?
The first thing I want to do is, while restrained, deactivate her communication device. Sorry.
Sure.
This Eldarin's, either by removing it or,
You probably
bashing
can,
it so it
yeah,
doesn't
you probably
work.
can get Skag to do it at that point, as
Yeah,
you're trying to
okay.
like hold this.
Okay, so I say, Skag, get his sidekick. Remove it.
Aye. I'm just gonna walk up and just just kind of rip it off his arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll strength.
I rolled 17.
Yeah, you like
Doing
rip
good
this
on-
thing
on
off, and
strength
you even
tonight,
just
man.
rip off some of his gray silvery skin right off. You don't even like try to
Maybe
snap
I
it off.
should have left it
You
off.
just kind of just rip this whole thing off of him.
Good.
Ed.
Now he's got like exposed skin that's on there. He wants to like scream out, but you kind of like holding him there. You kind of stifle it.
Okay. And I say to Otis, they were looking for you. I overheard them talking.
And my eyes get big, and I look at the human in my grasp, and I take him, and I want to shove his face. I want to drive his face into the wall to like try to stun him out cold,
Okay.
so I can go and question the Saldarin.
Yeah, without any problem, you just kind of grab him, slam him up against the wall. You just
Head
hear him
trauma.
like, "Cool,"
Good.
and he just like slumps and falls to the
Yeah.
ground.
It's a mafioso style.
Yeah.
Well. I'm gonna walk up to the Saldarin that Rev has. What are you looking for?
So yeah, would you see with the Saldarn again? It's like the very long, elongated head, silver with these large black eyes that kind of have like these quick eyelids that kind of like snap open in front. They don't have any nose; they just have two slits for like nostrils, and a very very thin mouth. And you hear him just go.
Can I reach his face?
Yeah, I mean. he's
Oh,
like
I
right
want to
there.
punch him right in the face, like
Yeah.
right in his nostrils.
Okay,
With
so
that noise,
You land
Yeah.
you land a punch, and you hear him just go.
speak clearly when speaking to me.
And you hear him just go, like a trickle of like this bluish blood starts to come down. He's like,
I said.
Rev slightly loosens up, just enough that hopefully he could talk.
"Why'd you punch me?"
What are you looking for?
And he just goes, "I don't want to tell you nothing."
Punch him again.
Just kind of gets back, more blood just like trickling down. You're not restraining his hand, so he actually goes to try to grab at you.
I'm gonna
Wait,
snap my finger.
What was it?
I want to say that I hear some scuffle from the back, and I hear what's going on, and I just kind of want to turn my head and just go, break his fucking hand, and just like keep like look forward.
Just like tossing stuff in the back. Yeah.
Just go for the jugular.
I'm gonna give you one more chance. You tell me what you're looking for, or this gentleman behind me is gonna break both your ankles.
And he's just
And I point the Skag.
and he's just like, "I'm not telling you what do you think. Nothing."
I snap my fingers. I just snap my fingers.
And I just come walking up, and I just stomp on both of his ankles.
Roll strength.
Please break them.
At advantage. This guy is completely restrained.
I don't even think I need advantage. I rolled a 17 again.
Okay. You stomp on his first
made up that one.
first foot. He again, they have like that heavy duty fiber mesh ballistic boots, but you stomp so hard because you're so heavy that you can actually just hear, even Rev, you can hear like a crack.
Oh man.
And he just goes. Oh, he's about to scream out, and you've given him enough room that he can do it. He's like,
okay, before he can scream, I tighten up again.
Excellent job.
kick him in the balls. Great news. As you do that, the sheer pain and the shock, and that because you put it back, he just goes.
See, what I think you're looking for is me, and that's not gonna happen. And I'm pointing in his face.
And you hear him just go.
I think he's passed out. So I just kind of let go as he falls to the ground.
Good.
Okay.
He just kind of like slides down, and it's like very kind of like labored, shallow breathing. But he's just passed out. The pure shock and being choked. He's out. Both the guys are just passed out.
I want to look at Otis and I want to say, we didn't get any information. Give him some jerky. Wake him up.
You hear a ding.
Yeah, and you still have the sidekick that you ripped off.
Yeah, it's in my hand.
And Rev says they were trying to contact somebody. Sounded like a woman's name that they said. Is that a text message or is it a?
Yeah, I'm gonna hand it to you. Actually, I'm just gonna because you're the data guy.
Can I by looking at this thing and fiddling with it see if it's a voice incoming call?
It is a voice incoming call, but there's a message that was on there as well. And it just goes, "Tell me where you're at. Tell me where you're at. Are you guys okay?" And then now the ding is incoming voice message. Incoming voice message.
Okay. Quickly, I want to text back or not voice message back. Say, can't talk now. Tailing the target.
As you do that, you send it probably in mere seconds. It comes back and just goes, "Tell me where you're at. I can help."
And now I want to tell Otis and Skag. I just told them that they are trailing the target. What should we do? Do we want to lead them on a false trail while we leave, or do we?
Yeah, false trail across town.
Tell them that we went to the currencies.
Well, that's where we are.
Yeah,
Because
you're right across the street.
Yeah, our motor tracks are still there.
Never mind. My bad.
It's like, well,
There's
I'm
only
going
like
to come here.
There's only like 3 places I know of. I'm like, oh, the docks, the bar, or currencies.
How far's the docks from us?
Yeah, we
Nearby?
could tell them.
It's probably like 150 yards or something like that.
We could tell them we're at
Because
the
the
docks.
currencies is on the farthest to the western where
Right.
the docks are at.
Tell them that we went to the docks. Try to leave enough time to say that we eventually got on a boat.
That we got on a. Oh, you want me to tell them that they followed us on a boat?
Yes.
Okay. So I quickly type in, they're headed towards the docks. We're tailing them. We'll let you know where they go.
Okay. Roll deception.
Okay.
Let's see if she buys it.
Okay. Maybe I should be having Otis be typing these messages.
I don't have deception.
Oh, you
so
don't? Okay.
We'd
You don't?
be just as screwed, yeah.
Do I get any sort of advantage or no?
No advantage at all.
Well, I just rolled a 1.
Okay.
Oh man.
As
There
you-
goes our mafioso action.
As you roll awareness, everybody rolled at a disadvantage.
Man, we're doing so good for it to abruptly just stop.
5.
At an advantage?
At
Yes.
disadvantage.
At disadvantage?
Wow, disadvantage. I rolled a 16.
I rolled an 11. My first was 18.
After you send that message, it seems to be you're just trying to do it so quickly. It seems to be a bit jarbled.
Okay.
Enough that you turn around, and the human that you thought was passed out is sitting just going,
Oh man, typing a message.
and you hear ding on the message that you were the psychic you're holding, and it says, "I have eyes on them." And with that, we'll leave our session there for this evening.
Oh man, mafioso night.
Well done, guys. That was awesome. I like the fact that you getting a ton of role play in on this one.
I want to do the train heist. Is what I
And
want
the
to do.
train heist seems to be coming up here, which should be pretty exciting. Other than that, we want to thank everybody who is hanging out with us tonight, especially Humor Noose. You're always awesome. We do truly appreciate it. Again, for everybody that's been tuning in, this game is called Horizons Unknown After Earth RPG. These sessions are called Here on the Wastes. These are every Friday night at 7 p.m., so you can always check us out. You can always find these episodes as well on YouTube. You can just click the YouTube link or !YT. As well, you can do !HU to get a backstory of Saldaria and this world as well. We want to thank you guys for everything. You guys have been awesome. Won't we just go around here and just tell where these guys can find you at?
I'm Rand118 on Twitch and YouTube. You can check out my stream and all that good stuff.
I'm Burger. You find me streaming over at twitch.tv/burger_TV. But I'm not live yet. I bought a motherboard today, so
Yes.
pretty soon
We're getting
we'll
Burger
be back.
Tobacco Road, back on the road.
Yes,
And
that's
then
right.
I'm Eli, and you can catch me on the corner of Easy Street. Please, I really need this money. My pimp's getting very mad. So I'm not like fine wine. I'm not aging well. So anybody, please.
And lastly, my name is Shogii, aka Scott. I am the creator of Horizons Unknown, and you can always just follow us here on this channel. Again, we appreciate everything, and until we see you guys, we will see you when we see you. Have a good one, guys.
Good night, my friend.